Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be in the world. Welcome to tradertv.live. We're continuing to see this retail-led frenzy, trading frenzy, kind of unwind once again this morning, coming off another strong showing for the overall market yesterday. We had all three major indexes nicely in positive territory for the second straight day this week. On Tuesday, the Dow was up about 475 points at the end of the day yesterday. Both the S&P and NASDAQ gaining about 1.5%. These retail-focused stocks all back to the downside this morning. We did see an early pop in the pre-market, but they are fading back to the downside. We'll talk about GameStop, obviously AMC, Naked Brand, Sundial, very, very active once again. Almost 1 billion shares traded yesterday. On Sundial, big-time earnings to get through this morning. Google's parent, Alphabet, blowout quarter. Amazon had a blowout quarter. We'll look at both of those coming up. There's more tech earnings on deck coming up after market tonight. We'll talk about PayPal, eBay, and also Yum Brands, China, set to report after market tonight. We got the ADP private payrolls number out at 8:15 this morning, much better than expected. It was about 174,000 jobs created last month versus an expectation of about 50,000. The big number obviously coming out on Friday. We'll get January jobs numbers Friday at 8:30. It's Wednesday, February 3rd, 2021. TraderTV.live starts now. And there we go. Look at Asian markets from the overnight session. You can see nicely positive right across the board here. Australia leading the way, 1.5%. Korea as well, more than a full percent to the upside. That is not the right page. We'll shift over this way and go to Europe and have a look at more positivity here. Italy leading the way so far, 2.5% in positive territory. Spain as well, 1% to the upside. Only England showing a little bit of a red number there to start things off. We'll have a look at North America here as well. As I mentioned, we are trying to get back into positive territory for the Dow, the NASDAQ 0.7%, the S&P in positive territory as well. Brazil open already 0.5% to the upside. Bitcoin, another move higher today, 2.7%. You can see both crude oil and gold at the bottom there in positive territory as well. Good morning, guys. Another day. Lots to get through this morning as far as earnings are concerned. Big reports from both Google's parent Alphabet and Amazon as well. Also, Jeff Bezos announcing that he will take a bit of a backseat, I guess, as far as running Amazon, becoming the executive chair in Q3 this year.
Yeah, got to focus on Blue Origin. Get everybody into space, man. That seems that's what you're supposed to do if you're the richest man in the world, or second, I guess. Elon as well. I was watching. We were watching the SpaceX flight. I hate watching, those types of failures. But I mean, all I got to say about it is keep doing what you do, Elon. Every single one of these sort of setbacks is just someone taking a risk for a better future for all of us. It's really cool to watch. There was like there was a sympathy play which you could have hit short in Virgin Galactic at the moment. The launch actually failed. That was an opportunity, but missed out on that one, certainly. But either way, we have big earnings to get to. As Brendan mentioned, there's still going to be some trading. I do think from a volatility standpoint in some of those meme stocks, momentum stocks, whatever you want to call them. Just noticing here, because it's in the cannabis space, more than likely is the reason why of that group. Sundial was sort of a part of that run to the upside on some of those squeezes, but it's sort of maintaining this on volume going higher today. So it remains in that group, but I want to separate it today. I actually don't even love the short unless it tests the high. It's looking rather strong for me this morning. Not as strong as Fred Van Vliet, Sean.
Yeah, 56 there for the Raptors, or 54, sorry, starts setting the new record, beating DeMar DeRozan. It was fun to watch that last night. But yeah, Amazon here, 345, 34.58. And then Google right now, even more impressive. What a beat there by Google, $2,060, and still making moves to the high side now. You can see we talked about Google breaking out from 1,800 already, and that's happened right here, like 1,700, 1,800. That was a nice little level there. We broke out about 2 weeks ago, and now today, wow. The strongest of the strong today. And we're going to see if there's any little pushback here from Facebook up to 267. Microsoft has been a good trade as well. Microsoft's on our board here today. We're looking to get that all-time high break, 242, while all-time highs a little bit higher than that. But we're looking for a 242 break. And we're already, the board's not working right now, but I'm already long AMC. Let's just call it up right here. I'm long at 06 right here on what I thought was going to be a little bit of a break. We'll use somewhere around this bottom, 98, 97 or so as an out. Let's just see if it holds. But AMC long to start the day here.
Yeah, a pretty impressive quarter to say the least for Google. 15 billion profits in the quarter. Amazing numbers from both Amazon and Google. We'll talk about that more coming up. Let's have a look at how traders here at Day Trade the World fared yesterday. More big numbers coming out of mostly North America yesterday. You can see 174,000 there at number one. This is the top 10 traders here at Day Trade the World. 80,000, a little bit of Canadian content coming in there at number two. 50,000 more U.S. numbers. Got to go all the way down to number 6 here to see some European action there. Still 24,000. Coming out of Europe yesterday. So volatility, volume equals big profits and big opportunities right across the board. Let's bring in Valeria and say good morning to her, working from home again today as she remains in quarantine after being out of the country for a week. Good morning, V.
Good morning, Brandon, and hey guys, have a great trading day, and we are here for you to make it only better. Please destroy the like button and let's get it started, Brandon.
Yeah, let's indeed get it started, guys. Lots to get through as we've been talking about in the pre-market here as far as things that are moving around this morning. We'll talk about Google and Amazon coming up here, guys, but both PayPal and eBay aftermarket tonight. Do we look at these as far as a trade today?
We don't. I mean, we generally don't like to look at things day before, but other than the fact that, you know, PayPal and eBay are big, huge NASDAQ. I mean, they're not huge NASDAQ names, not like Amazon and Google, you know, that's reported, but PayPal just continues to march higher. And I mean, we're going to be breaking that all-time high mark of 255 or so. This was my call of 2020 back at 108. Obviously now it's 254. Look, fintech is really taking over everything, in my opinion anyways. Oh, here we go. Hopefully this daily chart loads. And, you know, like everyone would rather pay. There's Cash App for Square. There's PayPal. They have that Pay Me, I think it is, or whatever it is, PayPal Me. And it's so easy to make these transactions. And you just tap your phone, you know, and there's a lot of opportunity there to send money back and forth. And it's just, I think a lot of the newer crowd out here is not so concerned about banks. Like I know, you know, my kids, they want to do everything online. And I think that PayPal does that. It's like a firm, right? We just had a firm IPO and that's been doing great. And I think PayPal is already there. Most checkouts have a PayPal button there. Plus, not just that, we still need to hear, and it'd be interesting to hear what PayPal wants to say about crypto because they've been one of the largest buyers there. It's their base that's buying them. But still, crypto's been huge. I think that's going to give them a lot of revenues. I was dumping some crypto into my PayPal account, turning it into cash, and I think it was 1% fee. I think like on 300, I paid $3 or something. I took some out the other day, and yeah. So you know, anyways, they're going to be making that cash on those exchanges. So I like PayPal, and here's what we're talking about: 256.63. I'll find out the exact high, but it doesn't really matter. It's probably gonna take it out today. 256.50, let's call it. We're only $1 away. I would say it's you know, clear skies here for PayPal for sure.
It's interesting you mentioned a firm there, and that's one that's been on a bit of a sort of recent run. Now it did, you know, it made like a 140 top, and then had been coming off here, and then you did get this nice base just right around that, you know, $100 level for like maybe it's psychological, but there was some support earlier before that run to 140. This is an interesting stock, and of course you talk about the fintech space in general there, Sean. If this gets to like, you know, yesterday's high, this 120, I almost feel like it's gonna have some sideways action going into maybe those PayPal earnings if you get a bit of a blow. This could be like one of those sort of sympathy the next day, you know, call it Thursday, Friday. Maybe we get an opportunity to go sideways a couple of days and then break through that high of yesterday at 119. You do have some chop up to 125, but you know, a firm that was probably a bit of a missed opportunity. At least I want to say on my part, from you watching some of these you know, recent IPO names have been fantastic momentum trades, and there was that base at 100 that has given you some some trades to start this month. Obviously there was a lot of other things moving that had to be taken advantage of, but let's not get too far away from some of these staple IPO names, which have been very, very good for day trades and swing trades. You know, C3AI has gotten off the radar, but Affirm, I'm looking at that one the rest of the week just to see if it can make another leg.
All right, guys, let's bring in Mark Roberts here, president of Sun Lake Strategies. We'll have a chat about what he is looking at this morning. Good morning, Mark. Another day, another exciting start to the day as well with all of these, I guess, social stocks, or I don't know what the right term is for these things, but looks like this trade is continuing to kind of unwind here. We saw that big move down again yesterday. Coming in this morning, we are in negative territory as far as these names are concerned, but it's the volume that's kind of keying me into the fact that maybe a little bit of lack of interest once again today. What are your thoughts?
I think a lot of the excess has come off many of these names. I think the move is now back into the FANG stocks, with Google and Amazon taking front stage last night. Not to take anything away from the retail trader, but the big boys seem to have been moving on. We will find out eventually who lost money, who made money through this period. But for the moment, I'm refocused on the FANG stocks. I was just looking at Capri Holdings, CPRI, a retail name that nobody really has focused on. They just blew out the number, and all the targets are way below the market. So I'm looking for stocks now where the analysts, if they've already updated, are some 30% above where the price action is trading. I think that's the next move for a lot of these major hedge funds.
We're seeing a lot of activity around, as you mentioned, Amazon and Google this morning after blowout quarters. I mean, obviously a tough day trade. These are very expensive stocks, but as far as levels are concerned, Google all-time highs here. What are you looking at for both of these?
I think they go much higher. I think they'll have their hiccups along the way. I've been talking on this broadcast 3 to 5% pullback. We had that the other day with that dip down into the 3,600 area. We snapped right back 5%. I think you're going to see more of this because the seasonality of February, it tends to be weak, and March tends to be very strong. So I'm looking for more of the back and forth action.
This, speaking of back and forth action, the strength that we've seen come into the market over the past couple of days seems to be led by the banks. For the second day in a row yesterday, a lot of the banks were very, very strong, just trending higher all day long. What are your thoughts on that sector right now?
I still stick to Goldman, Morgan Stanley, JP Morgan, some of the regional banks, SVB, which is SIVB, and some of those tend to be my favorites. But I'd say more of the Goldman, Morgan Stanley, and JP Morgan are what I'm looking at.
Let's go to the exciting world of vaccine development. We had a number of other names kind of pop up over the past couple of days. Novavax, there's that CureVac as well coming up with a deal to produce a vaccine. Is there, I mean, we've talked about Pfizer, we've talked about the big ones, AstraZeneca with positive data as well. Is there an opportunity at this point when it comes to vaccine stocks?
Oh, yes, because most of the United States has not been vaccinated. We've had our big logistical hiccups. I think a lot of these companies are going to be able to maneuver. I think this play continues well into the fall. Where the action will be at that point will be who can adapt more easily and quickly to the variants, the South African. There will be more variants, there's no question. Most senior doctors that I've talked to think we'll all be getting a booster shot sometime next year. And this will be like a flu shot every year. This isn't a one-off. You get your two shots, Moderna or Pfizer vaccine, and you're done. There also are a lot of people in this country who don't believe in vaccines or who are challenging whether their kids need to take the vaccine to go back to school, which eventually will happen as well. That will be an interesting time. But for me, I see this as a play into the fall, and I look for the back and forth action to take some positions.
Hey, Mark, good to see you again. Thank you for joining us one more time. I'm going to hit our weed Batman symbol right now to let us all know what we're going to be discussing soon. I can't believe what's going on with Canopy right now. Canopy up to $43 was only, and this is CGC we're talking about here, was only $33 back January 26th. So we're talking about like a 1, 2, 3, 4, like 5 or 6 days of trading, and we've made 30-something% here on Canopy. And I thought Canopy, obviously, one of the biggest names in this space here. Is there a name that you like in the cannabis space, or any possible? I mean, I know Tilray and Afria getting that merge going on in Afria right now as well. APHA, if I can call it up correctly. Going to break that $16 mark, which on a daily chart has been pretty huge. It actually goes back quite a while here, back years, months, if not that. But we've had some consolidation areas here on Afria. Here's the Tilray news, and that seems to be good. They're going to be going under one symbol. What's your take with this space, and is there a name that perhaps is flying under the radar, or one that you would like, an MSO or something?
Yeah, so GWPH is being acquired by Jazz in a $7 billion deal. That's huge.
Right.
That's about a 50% premium over where GW was trading the other day. The MJ is up 6% this morning. That's the cannabis ETF.
Right.
That's one way to play. Otherwise, I'm watching ACB, CGC, Crone, AFA, and Tilray, and I think you'll get continued action both in the consolidation space and in the U.S. with the Democrats pushing cannabis to be legalized.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about this GW Pharma thing yet on the show today, but yeah, big move up to 214. Was that an all cash deal, or I didn't even really look at this deal in too much details, but I guess that's obviously what's starting everything. I've liked GRWG, which is Grow Generations, and I keep calling this the Home Depot of marijuana stocks. And again, if you're growing, and I know this happened here in Canada as well, where it passed legislation, not only is recreational marijuana legal, you can go to some dispensaries and pick it up, but obviously you're able to grow it as well. So I do think that, away from the actual plant itself, GRWG is a call that I like, and you did get a beautiful dip back to this 50-period moving average there at $40. And this also, Mark, GRWG looks like it's breaking out even today, $54. Do you know anything about GRWG, Grow Generations?
I do not. Another name I've been focused on, which most people don't even put the two together, is SMG,
right.
Scott's Miracle.
Yep.
You need the fertilizer, and that stock's up some 4 to 5% today, breaking out. I think that's a home run on any weakness. I've been effectively following this since the dips in September, when it was around 145.
Yeah, I see that right here, and I think we're on the same wavelength there, where you're playing a secondary part of the cannabis space. And GRWG, Grow Generation brands, they sell the hydroponics and things like that, and you're 100% right. Without Scott's Miracle Grow, maybe you don't get those nice fruity buds. I don't know what kind of buds are they. I don't know what to do about that. But thanks, Mark. I'll throw it over to Neil. I just wanted to talk a little bit of this space, because today this is going to be bad to say, but it's on fire, I guess, the cannabis.
Well, it is bad if it's on fire. You don't want the good. I shouldn't say the good stuff. You don't want that to happen. But it's interesting because it is on fire, and I was even talking about Sundial, which I usually left a short, not being one today. I love that you go to those secondaries, Mark, and I think we've talked about this before when it comes to DraftKings, then looking at some secondary names there. But I kind of want to come back to if we can, a bit to the meme stocks in one way particular. Some of these names which participated a little bit in the squeeze and the euphoria had already been on decent runs. I'm going to talk maybe like Virgin Galactic here, and Sundial's going to be different because it's in the cannabis space. But Virgin participated a little bit in this run up that we saw over the last few days in the euphoria. And yesterday I was saying it's probably a good day. This is a good day to take some profit on it when it headed up to that 60 level. Probably likely to come back down. Now, I know it's a different company, SpaceX. You had that flight, unfortunately, unsuccessful for the time being. So it's flat on the day today. And my question would be, if some of these start to unwind, what does this do to where you might think a traditional bottom might have been? Now, I liked 40 to 44 here, but if you get a bigger unwind in some of these other names, could that possibly extend some of the, I want, for lack of a better term, better names that were involved in this run? Could it extend the pullback that they had? And suddenly, when you think it's reasonable to be waiting for 40 to 44 as an area, maybe you should just be a little bit more patient to see how this plays out in the next week.
The answer is absolutely true. As I said, these names are not going away. SPCE is one. Even Bed Bath & Beyond, when it was trading at 18, there were some analysts that were doing their homework that thought eventually this stock could be $40. It got to 48, sold positions. The stock came all the way down into the 30s again. Yes, these are quality names that are trying to turn themselves around, and the answer is you don't need to go down to the dollar stocks. But on the other hand, yes, there are quality names on these pullbacks that you can trade.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, you kind of look at this here, and it's really not too far from, you know, this like 22, 23 area. Another 10% to the downside, and you're talking about the 50 period where there was some stabilization
Absolutely.
late in the year. Now that's I would say a far cry from, you know, looking at the chart we were just looking at in Virgin Galactic, but sort of the same thing applies. That's why I love getting your thoughts on these, Mark. There's been some talk about, you know, of course, rotation out of, well, I guess the high flyer names, we call them the meme stocks, whatever you want it to be, and then into some of the tech. Now, there's obviously also some of the more, let's call it traditional recovery names. I don't, whatever term you want here, but I want to go back to Boeing because we haven't talked about this one in a while. I was more or less convinced that, you know, there was some, you know, negative news with one of their other jets. I was pretty convinced that it was going to come back down into the 175 range, and it's getting this like little slight tiny rally here. What's your take here? Are you still waiting for this one to come down a little bit further? I know last time you talked, you thought there was a good chance that it wasn't done this dip.
Yeah, I mean, the 100-day moving average is about 190. The 200-day is 177. I'm looking for action somewhere in that space. I may be waiting a long time. I don't know. Personally, I've been starting to warm up more to a name like General Electric, GE, waiting to see if that comes down into the cluster area of 9 3/4 and 10. Though that kind of a name gives me a greater play into 2021 and beyond, because I think these stocks will start to redefine themselves. Boeing always will have some problems into mid-year, late year. GE gives me more semblance of an opportunity and also more liquidity.
Yeah, well, I mean, GE liquidity always absolutely fantastic. You can see, I mean, much better looking chart than Boeing. I think that goes without saying. Mark, as always, it's an absolute pleasure. Glad to have you back. Best of luck trading today. I'll throw you back to Brennan.
Thank you very much.
Great stuff, Mark. Yeah, going to be a busy day. We'll let you go at that. We'll speak again on Friday morning.
Okay, great. Have a great day and make some money.
You as well. Thank you. Mark Roberts, president of Sun Lake Strategies. Guys, if you haven't done so already, make sure you sign up for the watch list. Absolutely free to you every single morning. We send it out to your inbox before we come on at 8:30. Has all the stocks moving around in the pre-market and a little bit as to why they are moving around in the pre-market. We touched on a few of these here with Mark Roberts. But let's jump into some charts, guys, come up with some levels. Just noticed that AMC and GME both starting to go here a little bit early.
Kind of Cannon Day already for us today as we go AMC time, guys. We just tweeted this out. What a great trade we have on right now. I am getting out. I'm out of half of the trade already. So diamond hands, these are not. But I'm pretty happy getting out right now as it just keeps on ripping to the high side here. We talked about AMC yesterday, and I just tweeted it out. You can find it. I'll put it in the chat again. I just tweeted out my sticky note, and we did have up here AMC 875. So this, we just put this on our Twitter. 725 bottom, 875 on the top there. So we're going to watch out to see if that does come through. 850 right now looking to hit. and we just took some out at 46. So I always get out in front of the 50s. We're going to wait to see if that 875 comes through. I like AMC. This is kind of $9. 875 was right in here. Somewhere right around here yesterday. 875 came into play. So, it's these little bottoms down here. So we're looking to see if we could break this out. And then if we could do that, then we'll take out 9. So I was just thinking, looking at that, that'll be like a part where we'll try to get out of some of these shares. Obviously, it's bouncing around 50 right now. And then the very bottom, you can see it's pretty clear as day right now. It's actually 740, not 725. I don't know why I wrote down 725, but okay, it looks like it is 740 or 735 or so on the bottom here for AMC. So we're looking at those levels. And right now, yes, sir, it's a little bit of a backflip to start the day here on AMC. I haven't done much looking at GameStop because I've been focused, obviously, on this big trade. But Neil, I'm pretty sure, looked at GameStop a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, a couple. Actually, the other one was at cost. Remember, we didn't talk about cost yesterday, but it was involved in all those runs last week. GameStop, in particular, of course, look, it's been the leader of the band. I think we all know that. It just made, as Sean pointed out there, this little run up. There was a fall off before that 7 o'clock sort of liquidity point, right around this 96 area. It just reversed at that same price there. When I saw that reversal, I kind of went over to Naked Brands, which made a move up, and then went into that name to the short side 102. It's basically the way I've been playing it the last couple of sessions here. But just to put things into perspective, this is sort of the base that GameStop is trying to make. It's this 80 level. It was kind of a lot of consolidation before. It was a bit of a hard bottom yesterday. So you're getting a little bit of a bounce off of that here today. On that little turn, like I said, I elected to go into Naked Brands in front of like a 105, 106 area at 102. And I also wanted to talk about that cost, if only because it was sleepy yesterday. And then all of a sudden, I looked at this thing up 30% today, and I saw some range-bound opportunities. There was icebergs sort of galore in this stock. There was somebody selling 25.50 up here I jumped in front of for a quick scalp trade. I didn't take it again, which I maybe should have. And then it made a bit of a spike at 8 o'clock when volume came in. And then here's the same thing at 27. 1, 2, 3, 4 times it's tested this 27 level on KOSS. And it just feels like at 9:30, if it's blowing through that level, it's probably worth like a good momentum type of a long. I don't necessarily anticipate high of day breaking. Once again, there's nothing too crazy going on with the name individually, but it's sort of back on the radar. As it's of this entire group of I guess meme stocks, it's certainly the biggest move that I've seen today.
All right, guys, let's go to upgrades and downgrades. A few significant ones to keep in mind today. I mentioned Qualcomm. Reporting aftermarket tonight. So Qualcomm being upgraded up in the pre-market here, about a full percent. Earnings coming aftermarket tonight. ON Semiconductor, Dell, Marathon Oil, all on the upgrade side. Downgrades. Entergy is actually negative now. That number looks to be updated. Ryanair here also significantly higher along with the rest of the airlines, but there were some analyst moves to the downside for some of the airlines in this Spire G as well. Also in positive territory, guys, but Qualcomm, as we mentioned, earnings aftermarket tonight.
Yeah, I'm going to...
Yep, I just wanted to look. I'll just put it in our chat there, VXRT.
It's got to be an offering.
We'll look at, yeah, I don't know if it's an offering or not, but VXRT right now coming to the downside here. Vaxart, wow. Tank City, this doesn't seem like an offering because
no, you're right.
It just keeps on going down. So we'll see. I don't know if this was, I'm trying to find it. Brendan obviously was just busy right there. He'll come back on right now. And I'm just looking through Twitter here. I don't really see anything.
No, if it was an offering, I think you'd see terms all over the place. Brendan?
It's COVID, guys. They released some data here on their oral COVID-19 tablet vaccine candidate. That was not good, obviously, not as good as expected. So they were developing an oral type of vaccine. So apparently those results, not good, guys.
Yeah, 844. Yeah, okay.
Wow.
So sorry, Neil. Yeah, that just came out. No, we knew that. I knew they were COVID. I had no idea about this move down, and I was looking through Twitter and couldn't find anything. So, okay, let's look at Vaxart right now. Neil, the volume's really picking up. Wow, we just broke through 12. My daily chart's not loading right now, but is there a level that you like?
I'm looking right at the daily chart. There's 1150. Looks like this jumped off a couple of days ago, and this was the top end of I'd call it like a 4-month range. Was 1150 was the top, and then it was a bit of a bottom. You go back into the late January. So if it sort of busts through that, I would be hands off. If there's a falling sword to be caught here and it's a pre-market, I mean, a bounce anywhere off this level would look pretty solid to me. It's testing it right now on the bid. Look, it's 9 o'clock. There's a lot of time until the open, so you probably want to size down anything like that. I looked up at the screen, I looked back over, and it was busting through $12. So it's moving quite rapidly. There was a shot, I think, right there at 11.50 if you just sort of YOLO'd it and stood in front. But that's only a 50-cent scalp when this just came off $12. I don't know if that risk to reward makes any sense to me for a long trade.
All right, guys, we'll bring in Arun here. We'll get back to VXRT here in a second. We'll have a look at the overall market, see what levels we need to be aware of this morning. Arun, how are things setting up for you?
You know, yesterday I was talking about that 38.30 level. If we broke that, we had a chance to go up. And, you know, after we broke, we were just sitting sideways. So I'm going to keep an eye on this 38.30. Obviously, as every time we check back underneath, there is some buying. So 38.15 is the marker that I've got. If I can get back underneath 30 and find some more buying, I think I'm going to step on the buy side of this. But if it does get above the 40, then you do have the potential for a setup on the sell side, but I'm going to be very careful of how it sets up. I do need it to set up properly with a decent risk reward. The top end stop is 38.65. So if we get into the 40s, I get a proper setup, then I think the short is in play. 38.65 on the top end as a stop. And of course, you've got 38.15 on the bottom. But for now, at these prices, at 38.33 into that 35 mark, there's nothing really to do unless you can get underneath 30 or get above 40. At that point, you may have moves. But for me, at least in between 30 and 40, I won't be doing a whole lot.
Great stuff. Thanks so much, Arun. We'll check back in again tomorrow morning as we head towards the open here. Guys, under 30 minutes. Yeah, about 29 minutes ago. Yeah, let's go back to you guys.
Money, so AMC just spiked up. Money right there at 50 level. We're going to go higher. It goes to 55 and stops. But I guess it was, there's new GameStop news here, guys. GameStop right now appointed Matt Francis. Okay, don't know who that is. To role of Chief Technology Officer. Welcome to the role of Chief Technology Officer, Matt Francis. That spikes it up to about a 101. Again, these things are just going nuts. I don't know who Matt Francis is, but again, I don't know much about the GameStop board or you know, their employees and whatnot. But that was a good one. I don't know if the algos just caught it. Like there was a big volume there. I don't know if they're just looking for GameStop news. To me, that doesn't mean anything, but it looks like it does to the stocks, and that's all that mattered. So right now, GameStop up 11%. Congratulations, anybody that was able to buy yesterday's close. I know there's a lot of people holding the bag, so you can't really say congratulations too much. But AMC also going back to the high side right now. Both Daves, Neil, up 10.
Yeah, you know, in that moment when I saw it break 100 there, I actually, because the thesis was I was taking Naked Brands short when it turned around, I actually got out of my position flat, and then when I noticed that it was on that news, I jumped back into it. So the squeeze isn't the same thing here. I think you're probably right about it just being relatively algo driven. That's not a break that I'm going to chase at 9 o'clock. Through 100. I mean, maybe had this been off the open, you know, I feel a little more comfortable taking it. But I just wanted to note here, because I am making the sympathy play in Naked Brands, I'm not going to be blind. If this takes off the top, there's no way. This continues. There's going to be a long for me probably on one of the sympathy names as well. And I'm not going to be holding short through this because it looks like it is trying to sustain this move here.
No, the proof is in the fact that the entire group moving with this, even though it's news related to GME. Let's talk about Google and Amazon here, guys. Blowout reports right across the board for both. 15.2 billion Q4 profit for Google. That was the final number. Profit, 15.2 billion. Huge number. Advertising revenue up right across the board, including on YouTube.
Yeah, what's YouTube?
What's it, huh?
Yeah, YouTube is a big platform, I guess. But yeah, welcome to our channel on YouTube. But yeah, look, okay, I'm loving life. I'm tweeting out a few things here. Tweeted out the headline, tweeted out this AMC position. Look where we're long, guys, 806. And yeah, we're loving life right now. Already 1 times daily goal, but as I said, I got to adjust those. So who cares? Were we talking about Google there or Amazon? Let's just go over to Google. I think that's what we were talking about. Google, big beat yesterday, up 7%. We talked about this earlier on in the show. I wrote down 2080, and it's not rocket science. I was just looking at the top. That's basically why I wrote that down, 2080. But if you're looking for some support levels here, I mean, the numbers were monstrous. And I mean, billions of dollars. Google Cloud, they're just talking about that sort of now for the first time. And they have their hand in everything. One thesis about Google is it's just getting started, and I'll tell you why. Because if you open up your phone or anything like that and you search using Google, obviously it tracks you, there's cookies, there's everything in there, and advertising is about to get ramped up in the travel space and things like that. So, I mean, I just think that people go to AdSense, AdWords, that's all Google product. And I mean, with more people going to be back on the prowl for vacations. That's a huge, huge targeting space for ads. So Google already broke out. This is not only a stay-at-home play, but it's a play that should be in your forever portfolio. It is in mine. I'm wondering if it took out the #1 spot, beating Microsoft there and Disney now. Disney with a huge move yesterday. But it's not going to pull back here, so there's no point in even looking at any of these levels. And then if we zoom out to yesterday, we had a little bottom. Forget about these wicks. A little bit of a bottom there at 2022, and then some highs at 2040. So you're back and forth in here. I think you got to look to defend this 2000 area if you go back down there, but I'm just enamored right now. AMC, man, this is a nice little move here. 80 cents in the money right now, but I love Google. I don't know if it's a day trade, Neil, but it's definitely a hold if you don't want to get out of your position.
Yeah, I mean, I don't never see it as a day. I shouldn't never say never. I don't see it as a day trade. We've talked about also exposure to AI and that revolution that's coming, and that was certainly true with Microsoft and Google, Alphabet spending just as much, if not more, when it comes to that development. So that's exposure that you're going to want. It's not just the things that you understand are making money for them now. Start to think about the future, and Google is definitely there. I can't believe I just said I'm not going to chase this GameStop. Blah. If it was at the open, 100 should have taken it. It's now 10% to the upside. I once again, just not wanting to get caught, I've taken off that naked brand short. I just don't want to be sitting in the short when these things go to the upside. But I am looking at Sundial, which has two reasons why I could participate. I mean, we've already talked about the cannabis space here. And also, this was one of those high-flying names. It's found some support down at 118, 119. It just turned around at 125. I might sit in this one to the long trade off of this 118 level. I think maybe there's a little bit of support. I don't think we'd have any trouble getting out of this stock here looking at the level 2. Brendan?
All right, guys, let's go on to Amazon here. Andy Jassy, the current head of AWS, Amazon Web Services, going to take over for Jeff Bezos in Q3 of this year. Blowout quarter for Amazon as well. 100 billion mark in quarterly revenue for the first time for Amazon. Monster numbers here, guys.
I mean, it's breaking all the records. Obviously, we knew that was going to happen with COVID. You had a beautiful dip buy opportunity here on that Bezos news. People crashed it because they were, oh my God, AMC just broke through $9, guys. It's a hot dog cannon kind of morning as we go 1.5 times right now our daily goal. And we could stop now and be happy, but we're not going to do that. Okay, so Amazon there, yeah, 100 billion, great. Like 100 billion revenue mark. Forget about revenues as I look at the number here. Company doubled its net income, 7.2 billion for the quarter. That's with a B, billion for the quarter on Amazon. And my wife says, how could they afford to ship everything for free? I still don't know the answer to that question, but 7.2 billion, they're not doing anything for free, it seems like. And that's just ripping to the high side. Obviously, it's a subscription model, so I know how it works, guys. But yeah, Andy Jassy apparently already working with AWS, one of the leaders there. That's what's spurring all of this growth pretty much anyways. So look, I don't know if it's a good thing or a bad thing, but it looks like you get a 2-for-1 now with Bezos staying on, but just giving up the CEO role to Jassy. So I think you get a 2-for-1. I think this is the best report Amazon's ever had, and you're getting rewarded today. Obviously, it's not the biggest run Amazon's had after a report. That's irrelevant. It's already up to 3,500 and breaking out, obviously, through all-time highs. So 34.75 here, good little out if you had that. I look at yesterday's tops because we think it was a good number. I mean, you could use this 34.25, which is only $25 away. So I think we could really test that and then just use 34 as you're out. But I like Amazon, but it's one of those stocks again, guys, where I don't know. Is there better things to trade? I mean, right now it's only $1, $2 spread, which is pretty good considering it's 9.08. But I think I'm going to fry my eggs somewhere else. But I do like Amazon.
Yeah,
fry my eggs.
I like fried eggs.
I don't even know what's going on here, and it's only a Wednesday.
We only talked about Amazon like it was a couple of weeks ago that it was the one time I think it looked pretty solid on a day trade. I don't know that that's going to be true again today. But just to keep you guys updated, I mean, obviously some of these stocks are continuing to go to the upside. Like I said, I did get out of that naked brands, and I wanted to be short this stock. But overall, it's about to take this top at 105. It's a big level at 110 as well. I've added to my Sundial position. I like this one to the long side. But I'm going to see if there's a quick scalp opportunity. If we can hold this one even, hopefully 930 gives us, as long as we're continuing this move to the upside and some of the other names, maybe this will give us some cover to actually take a long for once on a little bit of a naked brands position, guys.
All right, guys, not very exciting, but Alibaba back in positive territory again this morning. Nice look for Baba after their Ant Group arm came to an agreement with Chinese regulators on a restructuring plan. Lots of details involved. You can have a look at the note if you are interested, or Google it. But positive it seems here for Alibaba, up about 4% this morning.
See, the thing about Alibaba is, like, fundamentally speaking, I sort of said this before. It's one of those things where if you look at the metrics, they should be priced a heck of a lot more aggressively than they are relative to Amazon, and Amazon blows things out. Alibaba, mentioned yesterday, 250 was a good opportunity to buy in terms of some safety in front of that level, and then you get the gap up today. It is what it is, but this 265, 266 area has just been like a sleepy wall for the stock, and on the daily chart, like 275 looks more interesting for a break back to the upside. So for me, it's almost like there's going to be a better shot longing that 275 or the day that it breaks out. Otherwise, it's just been sitting in this range. So I don't know about paying up to 265. The day trade doesn't seem there usually on this stock. It's been too whippy in this range. I think, buying the 250s it makes a little bit more sense yesterday. And of course, it was that 10% move from that 225 bottom after Jack went missing.
Jack Ma, yeah, they found him.
Well, I mean, he's
yeah,
found now.
Yeah, he went missing back now, Jack Ma, silly guy. Okay, so this 266.50 up here was a good little level yesterday. So we'll watch that. It was actually in the pre-market this morning. I didn't put my pre-market back far enough here, so for time-wise, but we were up to 266.50. I do like that. Yesterday's high in the pre-market was made right here, 266. So like what Neil was just talking about. So I think you have a 266 opportunity here to break out on Alibaba up. Wow, another 4%. Yeah, man, everything is good over in the Katina land because we've been long Alibaba for a while. We picked up some in the 220s. That was a good one. And then again in the 230s. So look, Ant was a big reason why I was loving Alibaba. I was loving it at 300, to be honest with you. So I was in love with it at 220. So yeah, now we like it even more. 265 breaking out. I like it 266. What we didn't look at here yet was this. The imbalance locator. So when I sat down here and opened up everything around 8 o'clock or so, just open up the imbalance locator at that time, the AMC wasn't even on there. So right now we're over 1 million shares right now and still ripping to the high side. We'll talk about Palantir coming up as well. But all the big names that we love are all on here. Ford's been a hell of a stock for us as well. BlackBerry, Palantir, Nokia, ACB. We talked about the cannabis space. We'll see if we can slay some of those dragons today as well. And then Neo and Baba here, Pinterest. So a lot of big names here that we like to trade, meaning it should be a great day as per usual, Brendo.
Yeah, TSM, another semiconductor on there as well, and ACB, guys, cannabis stocks on the watch list this morning. Let's go to Spotify first. Spotify reported earnings, better than expected earnings right across the board. 155 million paid subs for the first time. They got over that 150 million total paid subs mark. That was up 24% year over year. The active daily users number was also much better than expected. However, they did warn their current quarter may suffer because of uncertainty still due to the pandemic, guys.
Yeah, I guess it's the last part that dragged the stock back down to this 320 area. You see, actually just made a bit of a bounce seconds ago, so maybe a good luck charm there, Brendan. Just looking at the 15-minute chart, I was already eyeballing this like 312 area in the pre-market for a potential bounce in spot. If you go to the daily, you're going to sort of see this like. You see the 50 period where you see it's also sort of hovering and bouncing, but it's usually tracked below at least a couple of times. And then this is really a very, very range-bound level. This is at 320 you talk about. It's tracked below, and then you get this like 305 area as well. So if we break that bottom, it's 305 that has to hold. I don't care too much that you're basically bouncing up and down off the 50 period. I think probably that 305 is where you'd be in any kind of concern that there'd be a deeper pullback in spot. It's already made a bit of a bottom here in the pre-market, but the stock's done 123,000 shares pre-market. I don't know that there's an opening trade on it here. I'll like that 305 if you get a shot to get into that target range between the 5 and the 12. And, it was just on the bid at 17s on Sundial. Now I get back on 18s, I see it just ticked up.
Yeah, I love Sundial today as well. Big trading opportunities. Billions of shares yesterday. I did want to talk about another stock. Spotify's interesting, but I don't understand what they're saying. Like they can't judge with the pandemic. I mean, everybody's at home. So, I mean, they're podcasting away. They've got some recent podcasts with Kim Kardashian, Michelle Obama, Shakira. Oh, I saw Shakira. Happy 44th birthday.
Get out of here.
Hello. Okay, 108. You can see right here, Naked Brands. I do like this break. We've had this yesterday. It was actually my worst stock. Actually, it was Naked Brands and GameStop were the only two negative stocks we had yesterday. Another positive day for us, but we had to make a lot of money in the afternoon to get that back. 108 yesterday on Naked Brands, or sorry, yesterday on Naked Brands was the top. I like it this morning breaking through there, especially with some of these squeeze plays back on. So I just wanted to talk a little bit about that stock instead of Spotify. I hope that's okay for everybody. What we're doing right now is, and I'll show this to you one more time because we have 10,000 viewers. And if you can, hit the like button. We'll get Valeria on in a minute to talk about that. But right here, it's our morning movers and it's absolutely free. So what this is again, a watch list coming directly to your inbox. We mail it out every single day. What time did I get it today? 8:19, a little late. We're a little bit running behind with Valeria not being in the office here, but thank you to Brendan and V for doing this. But, you know, GME, AMC, Google's on here, Amazon, BABA, Spotify, cannabis stocks, talking all about them. AMD we got to get to, Glaxo, everything's on here. And then Neil's handsome face here with a GameStop video explaining some of that volatility. But yeah, so get that watch list. Valeria, if you're around, which you are on the chat, watchlist.tradertv.live. Grab that for free, and we're going over it every single morning.
I just saw a note on Amazon here, guys. Looks like Bank of America going to 4,150 with their price target for Amazon, if anybody's wondering. Yeah, Bank of America, 4,150 from 4,000 on their price target. That just out for Amazon. Let's go to cannabis stocks, guys. We mentioned them briefly there with Mark. Is there one or two maybe that we should be focusing on here for an actual opportunity today?
It depends on your style. Look, the reason, I showed you guys a level 2, the reason why I'm looking at Sundial. It's just, I mean, the liquidity is insane. It's done 85 million shares. It's going to do, I shouldn't make a hazardous guess, but it's done 500 million shares, and it can certainly do more than that. So for a day trader, for someone that likes to take spread, maybe get those 3-4 cent moves, it was fantastic. My 3 best stocks today or yesterday ended up being Sundial, Naked Brands, and then GameStop had a good trade in the afternoon as well. But I'm probably going to stick to this. And as I said here, I've basically been longing this one after going short maybe a little bit too often, I should almost say. But the trend has been solid here. You see the cannabis names moving up. There is an ability to sort of play both sides of it, go back to like a scalping style a little bit easier than I find. I've just never had success with CGC, to be honest with you, Sean, as a day trade. So this is why I usually do pretty good trading Sundial. I'll stick to this name in particular. Some levels I'm watching here just to the upside. 135 and 170 are going to be the key ones. Now, in the last couple of sessions, it's had this top around the 135. If there's a real jailbreak at some point, I'm looking at this 170 from all the way back into the high of those February lows, or whatever you want to call them, would be that next stop. So there's a lot of room for it to run if it continues this March. As usual, all bets off when this thing breaks $1. Usually I'm going to play the momentum through that type of a break, but we're a long ways away from that this morning. So the next level up is going to be that 125. I got a crummy partial fill at 18, so it shows I'm long, but trust me, I actually didn't get my order. It's just a little partial fill. Maybe I'll get the rest of it in a couple of minutes here.
Yeah, so I like Afria. So we just looked at Afria. We just put an order in there, 1590. Look, it's up 6.17% right now. We like it. I'm going to hit the Weed Batman thing again because I like that thing and I think it's pretty cool. One of our best graphics. We're coming with a whole bunch of new graphics, I think, tomorrow. So get ready for that one. But yeah, right now, Afria, 1590 to the top side. If you look at a daily chart here, it's just been, and we talked about this with Mark. He likes Scott's Miracle Grow. I like Grow Generation brands there as well, Grow Generation Corp. But $15, $16 was the high. Looking to see if we can't take that out. This is basically, it's not all-time highs. I mean, we can zoom all the way back. It goes back here. We don't have it because of the symbol change, but it goes way back. It's been up here before, but it hasn't been here in a year. And, it's broken out. I mean, this $12 is a good area. I'm going to take a tester here at 1590 and then see about it coming back down. I mean, if we get 1590, that's great. And then like Neil said, I don't have much luck actually trading too much cannabis names, so we will be looking at a 1580. Like I may give this thing maybe 20 cents. So if I'm long 1590, we'll pull it back to 1570 with the kind of shares I'm trading. I'm not going to risk more than that on that. Just looking for a 16 break. So take 1590, hope for a 16 break, take 20, 30 cents and get out of there. But I do like Afria today.
All right, guys, real quick news on Blink before we get to AMD. AMD, Blink charging up 5% here, big spike through 51. There's the chart. I'll show you the news real quick. They signed an agreement with this Ballantine Strong. So this company has theme parks, movie theaters, things like that. So they're going to put their charging stations throughout the nation in this company's parking lot. So if you're wondering about Blink charging, that was a headline there. Zoom reporting availability of Zoom Rooms Anywhere Workforce Innovation. So looks like a couple things coming out on Zoom as we speak as well. Busy morning. Let's get to AMD. This is an interesting story. I want to show you this graphic if I can, guys. Just jump into my screen here. This is a Reddit dashboard, trending stocks. This is this morning, AMD, number 4 beneath BlackBerry, AMC, and GameStop on Reddit this morning, guys. There was a Jefferies analyst that suggested AMD's short interest as high as 17% now.
Look, I would preach caution with the notion that you're going to get a squeeze in AMD. All that said, I mean, I came down, sat down, and was looking at 89.30 break on AMD. I almost said AMC. There's a lot of money that's going to be well capitalized in any kind of short position like that. The winning on a squeeze in AMD doesn't even make any sense to me. But all that said, I did like that 89.30 level break. I then saw, of course, maybe it has something to do with that report. I have no idea, but there was this breakdown that just happened at 89, and when this happened, you get $1 to the downside. I'm going to probably throw away the top end break depending on what we see at the open here and have to reassess it because this dollar move down in the pre-market was a little bit surprising to me here. It's a price I think we can file away because it's been range bound for so long. It's a clear sort of it's going to have to pivot through that point. It was a previous low to get back up towards those highs. If this does actually continue to the downside, I think maybe you're looking at like a couple of days from now being able to pick up like 80s. Finally got the rest of that fill in sundial. Of course, it went up to 21st. But let's see if we can't scalp a little bit of that and see if we can't hold the rest. But AMD, I'm going to like 89.25, 89.30 on a break. That's yesterday's high. It's just a question of when that's going to happen. Clearly, it's not going to be right at the open, which I thought when I sat down.
You see me get in and out here on AMC, and it's not on purpose. All of these wicks to the downside just keep triggering me out of my long, so I just have to keep buying it back. So realistically, I'm still long. I mean, in my mind anyway, it doesn't matter, but I'm still long this 806, but we did buy back. Like all of these dark prints triggered some stop orders to get filled, so I'm not going to put in any triggers right now. Just let it open up. We'll check it out right now on the imbalance locator one more time. AMC to the high side. No GameStop on here though. So unless it's a bit lower, no, I don't see it. I can sort it alphabetically, but if it's under like 300,000, it's not going to be a big deal anyways. But yeah, AMC's still there, and we are long now 82. But realistically, I just want to have some long in case we do take out this top. I'm going to use basically VWAP 850 as an out, but I can't put that order in because it would just trigger all the time on these bad prints.
All right, guys, we'll go to GSK, primary listing over in the UK for GlaxoSmithKline, but GSK very active in the pre-market. This lot of this volume coming on dark prints this morning, but down after earnings. They also had a suspect forecast going forward for the current year. So this one has some ties to a COVID vaccine. Also, missed right across the board as far as their earnings. 4.5% here in the US for GSK.
Yeah, I mean, there was some talk about them sort of splitting up the company, I do believe, which usually at times can be seen as a positive thing. This is it's not necessarily a great look for this stock. If there's momentum, I should say 35.75, the current low, it just feels like if that goes, it's going to be worthy of a trade. I can't think of a time that I've traded GlaxoSmithKline in the U.S. For a day trade. I think back in the day, I've looked at it in Europe. Usually we like doing the primary listing as well. But in this particular case, I might make that exception just to take a quick look at this 35.75. Now, I did break this in the pre-market, so you can look at the pre-market low, which 35.67. Either way, I think it's splitting hairs. The momentum's clear here. It's been in a bit of a downward trend even without this report, guys. So let's have a quick look. I just successfully scalped some of that sundial position at 18, and then we're going to see if we can break back up to that 125 where it just was a few minutes ago. But I don't know if I'll be in that Glaxo, Sean, but it does look like that traditional bottom break short opportunity on weakness.
Yeah, I like it, but like you said, I haven't really been into that name at all. So I'll probably stay away. And one name that I've been into, and we had a big win on it yesterday, was one of my best stocks to start the day because we bottom picked some of these names. And I just remember that we were talking about AMD, and then I started talking about AMC there because of my wick out of some of these trades. But 87 yesterday was a bottom there, and we were able to catch some of these longs off the open. I mean, again, it dipped. That was an interesting Reddit that you posted there. I would really like the link to that, Brendan. But I mean, obviously, if you have it, that's great, and you'll keep us informed. But like, I don't know why AMD is there, other than I think it's a screaming buy right now at these levels. And of course, it shows AMD.NY. But if we can call up a daily chart here, I'll show you. Yeah, I think AMD holds. I mean, it's down here, 85, 86, 84. Like, to pick it up anywhere down here would be pretty sweet. 80, 81, 82. And if you're lucky enough to get opportunity, 75 is great. But we are below that 50-period moving average right now, which is a little disappointing to me. But yeah, I like AMD. I don't know why it's on that Reddit list, but I guess there's an increase in short potential there for AMD. But I like an 88 to hold, and then we'll see about going upside there. So right now, 88.48. We'll put some bids down the low side there, see if it holds that 87 and 88.
All right, guys, a couple of minutes left. Let's have a look at one small one. There's a bunch of small ones at the bottom of the list today. SLS, little biotech pharma company, micro cap, tiny float. Be very careful with this one. Already a very wide range. 14 at the top, 10.5 at the bottom here in the pre-market. Needs to stay below 13 if it's going to go down. If it gets back above 13, you know, we were at 19.5 just going back a month or two ago. This is the type of stock that when it has news can get going because of such a small float, but needs to stay below 13 here, the pink line for SLS, guys.
Yeah, you have to watch out. Like you said, the range is everything when you're watching a stock like that. Just look out for that. Trying to take out this one, it looks like it's back to the downside, is that Naked Brands. But you just saw another shoot up in GameStop here through 115, and that has AMC heading towards 9 there, Sean. If that, like again, that 9 break could be a very, very interesting one. I wanted to come to another trade that I am actually involved in, or at least I'd put on this morning, and that was KOSS. It just pulled back. So, I mean, of course, it's been moving with GameStop, but it just pulled back while we're still making some highs here. And we're going to get maybe another retest off VWAP. And I'm looking at this 27. The break before was good. This move sustaining right now through the high of the day. I'm looking now cost, believe it or not, long. 27 on a bit of a break. It's had icebergs galore on this stock, every single even dollar or key even dollar level, and now 27 once again. Seems like it's holding on the offer. So as long as we're testing highs, which we're breaking them on GameStop, I'm going to look for a cost through 27, which for now is lagging. If it continues to lag, I guess I'll have to give up and look for a short if it's going to be relatively weak. But here comes 120 right now.
Yep, and I'm going to look for a 58, I don't know, 97 or so break here on DraftKings. If we get this one, we'll go long or short. So we're going to try to defend this 59. DraftKings a big mover, up only that 1% today, but looking to see if we could do something down here at 59. So we'll see if we can get averaged in here. I'll put some low bids, see if we get picked up on the downside. But yeah, hell yeah, with AMC, a nice, I still consider us long there. We got out on these wicks, bad wicks. We don't have a stop order in. We'll put one in soon so we don't get wicked out. But again, 850 is going to be the out on this long, 882. And it looks like the market's just about to open up in 2 and a bit minutes there. We do have Valeria. She'll be coming through as well soon. Okay, and then Palantir. There's a lot of people asking me about Palantir. I wrote down 32, 32.30, but we broke. We already broke 32. I wrote it down when we were down here early, like 8.30, 8.40. Wasn't expecting it to rip all the way to 32.50. There is earnings coming. 32.50 on Palantir looks like a good one. That should take that out. But remember, it can fall down, so watch out to defend this 32 level on Palantir. Some big size right now, guys. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, and with 2 minutes to go, wow, creeping up on us fast. Cassava Sciences from yesterday, huge move just now, like $7 from the bottom, immediately approaching pre-market highs here at 63. Just keep in mind this stock, it's actually gapping. If you look at the highs yesterday, it is gapping up, but this is still about $10 from yesterday's top, just above that 74. So like 74.50 is a level. 75 obviously going to be one, but it's taking off the top right now at 63. I'm going to take a small position here. Now, again, the reason it's going to be probably smaller, is it's 1.5 minutes till the open. It's trying to take the top off here. Going to have a tighter stop. The spread is like 50, 60 cents at times here. So have to be very, very careful with Cassava Sciences. But if it makes another run, I mean, even halfway to yesterday's highs, and you're talking about like that 68, 69 type of range, guys. So I'm going to jump in here for the first time. If we do make another pushback down, I'll definitely be taking this one off before it gets to 60, like a 61.5, something in that range, and then looking to re-engage a little bit later on in the session. Going to try and pick up some more sundial. I've been sort of in and out of this one around that 17, 18 area, taking it off for some scalp wins while it's approaching 100 million in volume. It's crazy, so trying to be as active as possible there.
100 million, yeah. We're looking for that too. So Palantir's coming through. AMD, we've got some low bids on. We haven't talked too much about Microsoft here yet. So let's check out Microsoft. It's still a little ways away. I like that 242, but we need to get up there still, breaking something from yesterday here, bad wicks, but 240 and change. We'll watch Microsoft as a NASDAQ looking to go as well. Just to check back quickly on AMC, as we are still long and it's bouncing around that 9. So let's wait to see if 850 holds. But AMC, GameStop, everything moving around today, guys. Alibaba looking at that as well.
Yeah, and there is the countdown. It's hump day. I haven't even said it's hump day yet once, but let's get this party started. The market's about to open. Miss V is not here, so Robbie ringing that bell, and 2 and 1. There we go. Let's get the party started.
Let's go, guys. Maybe we can get this going again on CCL. So right now we're trying to go short. We are short now. Carnival Cruise. So we're going to see if that can go to the downside right now. Getting shorter and shorter on Carnival here. I don't know. Some of my fills didn't fill out pretty good there. We'll wait to see on that one. But right now, Carnival, we are short 1949. We're looking for a few more shares, but we have Carnival 1949. We also have Palantir 3211. It does do that dance back to the downside. So we're going to watch out for 3150 to break in Palantir, guys.
Yeah, and a couple immediate positions right there. So first shot on Sava is not going to work out. It goes right back to the downside, and then was right in and out of sundial a couple of times. I just got back in at 18, so I've been getting in and out off that. It looks like we're heading down towards this 15. I'm not going to let that go, but I just shorted on a one break naked brand. So in a sundial long and a naked brand short, believe it or not. It's a little bit different from what we would usually do. If this breaks 15, I'm going to be looking to be short in sundial. This is coming off heavy now.
Yeah, and we're also looking here at 1971 or so to get out here on CCL if it does go back up. But right now we are short CCL. And we do have long right now Palantir, 3211. It's not really doing anything right now, so oops. We will wait on Palantir. Going to try to average in and then use like a 3150 as our out rate there, guys, if we get it. AMC, we're still long. We just took an AMD long there as well as it goes back down to 88. So a couple nice longs here trying to pick up some bottoms.
Yeah, and look, I didn't even get the short on the break of sundial. It went through 15, down to 13 almost instantly. I had actually turned short at Naked Brands when it broke $1. I said when it breaks $1, I'd take it. Already scalping some out in front of that low of day, guys. So it's basically the same thing. 95 is a pre-market low. I'll get some out in front of that. GameStop's headed back to 100. If it bounces, I might look for a reversal right here in Naked Brands because I am sitting in the short. Brendan?
All right, guys. Initial break here on Blink to the upside of that pre-market high, which was 51.80, went all the way up to 53 there on that new deal for their charging stations, guys.
Oh, I'm kicking myself.
Don't do it.
This is what happens, right? So I'm looking at sundial, get into position there. I said if I get out of Sava, which I end up doing essentially right here, and this is basically like a flat trade. Whatever. Like my stop trigger. You said the wick, Sean. My stop triggered on a bad wick to the downside. I didn't punch back in because that's what you're supposed to do. Sava's already at 70, so I know what I'm supposed to do in that situation. I didn't mean to get out of it. It was a bad trigger, but I was in that Naked Brands reversal, and Sava's now at $70. 75. Let's remember that. That was yesterday's high. Going to be a big level on there in Cassava Sciences.
Yeah, we're looking still at all of our trades as well here. AMD, a nice little run to the upside right now. We're long at 88.05. Definitely worth taking some out right now. 45, bang! A nice little win there to start the day on AMD, sorry. We picked that up on the low side. We talked about defending 88, and we did it. So now up 60 cents now to the high side, 65 cents now, and still going. Our Palantir, okay, not doing much, but we still have this. So we still are long 32.11. It's at 32.18, looking at 32.50, man. We could break 32.50. We're going to go long on that one as well. And then CCL, we should probably get some out here, more out on AMD as it's going. It's trying to break 50 there. Had a little bit of a problem. Let's get some out. There it is. Now it's now at 47s. Palantir still going in CCL. My biggest position right now. What's up, Brendan?
Afria just popping up here, guys, in the cannabis space. Initial strength, but failed there at 1560. So back downside. Still, though, 4.5% for Afria.
Start to watch at Spotify here. Is it just a sort of going down to that 312 area? 305, of course, the bottom end of the range that we're going to be looking at. I've trimmed only now in Naked Brand's position. I just saw that Saba there made a bit of a top. Not as high as I thought it was going to go on that move. It turned at 70.50. I thought the pullback would be a little bit closer to tomorrow's or yesterday's high. 75 still firmly on the radar, guys. So that could be the quick one for, if you see me short, it might be very, very fast in and out, and then a possible reversal long. If it dips, look for like a 67 on that range. If Sundial gets above 120, I'm looking for that to take a punch. About 1 million shares on that offer. Plenty of liquidity, but it's trying to make a bottom here.
Okay, so big trade here for me on AMD, guys. Like long at 88, it's at 89 right now. So a nice little dollar win here on AMD. But really, I'm just waiting for this to go. We'll see if we can average in a little bit. I like CCL to the downside. Obviously, if the market collapses, that's a good thing for CCL on the downside. But it looks like we are bouncing back. So gonna have to absorb this hit a little bit. Still using, where was my out? CCL 75, 70 break. So if it breaks through 70 again, it's a little bit clumped up here. But all the way up to the top here, 1970. I mean, maybe we should give it to 76, 77 here. That seems like a little bit of a better play. I think we're going to change our stop order and give it to that. But Palantir right now falling down a little bit. That's fine. We did expect this. We did take some out there. We saw a resistor there at 20, so we did take a little bit out, but we still are long Palantir. I'll let you know more about that as it goes. Looking to get longer, 3180, and then dump it if we do break somewhere down here, guys. What's up, Beep?
One that was very strong yesterday, guys. Snowflake just popping up here again today, 4.3%. Mind you, it is a little bit thin. Volume not the greatest so far, but 315 now for Snowflake.
So there's that move that was just talking about, that 20 break in Sundial. And look, it's going to have tons of liquidity. I think good opportunity to maybe scalp this. You take your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cents. 125 is a level. So if you're taking a 120 break, I'm taking profits all the way into that 125 level, guys. So you can always just, if you have direct market access, of course, size accordingly for some of these scalp type plays.
Oh, hells yeah.
We're trying to break 100 again to the upside in GameStop after pulling back off that 20 level. And then, of course, I am monitoring Cassava Sciences. A pullback for now bounced off VWAP one time. That was real quick. I think almost no chance for you to have got that one. No consolidation there. But here goes that Sundial break. Told you there's 1 million shares on the offer there. There's a couple of million on the 125. That's why I'm going to take some out. Well, I'll probably get it all out in front of that 125.
Okay, guys, so here we go again. Up, and away. Bang! What a nice win right now, guys. Smoking right now on Palantir. Look where we're long on Palantir, guys. We're getting out some, but we took that 32.08. We talked about that, and I just said a couple seconds ago, no problem on Palantir. And yeah, it wasn't. It blew past that 20 and then just took off, and we doubled our love right there. 32.50. Let's just keep on going to the upside right now. Taking out $33 right here, hopefully, is Palantir with yet another great idea. Check this sticky note. Follow me on Twitter. We had Palantir. Look at Palantir up here. It doesn't matter. We'll get this in a minute, but look at this sticky note right here. Palantir, 32 to 32.30. Was that an explosive level or what? Let's go, guys.
Yeah, and just got almost all of it out of that Sundial. I'm looking over now at AMD. It did give that failed top break. I said I would reassess it after it made that huge move to the downside. I didn't want to blindly take the high of the day, 89.25 break. Wanted to see the price action. It was too fast into a high. You're basically chasing a $2 move. So now I'm going to see if we can't wait for a dip, hopefully around like 88.60, 88.70 or so. Here comes 125 in Sundial. I'm going to rinse and repeat, do the same thing we did at 120. Brennan?
So it looks like a further availability for Zoom, guys. We mentioned that headline that came out. Zoom rooms everywhere. Workforce innovations available now for Zoom. But initial weakness here from 396 all the way back to 388 for Zoom.
Okay, guys. Yeah, we're just looking here, and we're going to try to see about Afria right now. A nice little win on Afria. Yes, go Afria. Yeah. Boom! Yeah, we hit this one as well, guys. Yeah, we're on fire today, for real. At 15.19, we take that high break. Look at this run, guys. Afria, big trade alert here on Afria. Big bad trade alert right now on CCL. If we didn't have this one, wow, we'd be loving life right now, but we do have it. So 19.75, going to get some out here on CCL. This one looks like it'll be a decent loser for us, which is not great. But yeah, Palantir, big run to the high side. We get the majority of them out. Now, unfortunately, we're going to let it go back here, and it's going to drop us off a little bit for a loser. But Palantir coming back to the downside.
Yeah, and of course, I talked about that naked brands, of course, that 104, 105 range. Second, it went back up to where I was shorting it at 102. I got back in. I'm going to scalp this one out on the way down to that 95. Once again, I do have bids out there, but I also I just missed it. That 25, as I was distracted, I just missed a 25 break on Sundial there. Going to see if I can't pick something up on the midpoint. Actually, what a great fill. I actually just got the 25 half midpoint on that 25 break in Sundial, so a bit of possible good fortune, but this is that high of the day. I wanted to see if it would break through. It did not. I might have to scalp this one out basically flat as it just turned off of that high, guys. Let's see what happens when it takes out, if it can take out the 127. Sundial has been a decent runner. Just got the shares out there at 125, but the 120 break certainly did turn around where I might have anticipated. I'm not turning into a short until we take the high of the day or maybe get back below that 120. I'd still love to see that 127 high day break.
You want to talk about a decent runner? Yeah, I mean, we got one right now, and we go, Mamma mia, Afria, you just keep on going to the high side right now. What a great long this was to match with our AMD right now. 90 cents in the money on AMD to the high side. Look at this bottom pick as well. Man, we're on fire today. What's up, Beep?
Huge volume here on Sony, guys. Saw a headline that said Sony's actually going to change their symbol on the NYSE from SNE to Sony, S-O-N-Y. That's coming up. So 10%. This is all-time highs here for Sony.
Okay, I guess that makes it just a little bit easier for them to be identified, I guess.
Yeah.
But a good look there by Sony, I guess. S-N-E-S-O-N-Y. I like that. I like that play.
Just a quick look. I mean, Virgin Galactic made a bit of a push to the upside, pressing on highs once again. So there was a 50 break. Thought maybe we'd get a secondary move down, but remember, some of these high flyer names have bounced back, and space is kind of in that space. God, I hate that pun. Looking for VWAP here at 51, maybe to catch a dip. I thought we'd be getting better prices than this. And Sundial coming back to 120. As long as we're still headed northbound on most of these names, I'm going to look to see if we can defend that 120 level, but that's turning rather hard here. But I'm going to get a bid ready to go on Virgin Galactic in front of VWAP. I don't want to miss this trade if it comes down here. It could be quick if 51 doesn't hold, though.
Yeah, it looks like we'll be getting out of our CCL here for a big loss. Not big, but we tried the short. We shorted early on that 1950 break. Looks like we had it. There we go. We get out of that one for a loss. So we'll fall down the hole there. Apparently, if my mic is a little bit echoey, guys, if you could check that one out. But we'll flush ourselves. Oops. There we go. We'll flush ourselves down the toilet for this CCL trade. One bad trade today, it's fine. But yeah, the good ones there on AMD. Good one here on Afria. Got the majority of them out. That's why we hit it rapidly there. 16.25. Now it's coming back in. Afria, good thing we got out of that one. Watch this market coming back down here, guys.
Oh, goodness. Vaxart just halted upside and then reopened and is heading back down. And look, I mean, we talked about the halt rule a million times. This little tiny move is actually 10%. That's why you would have seen the halt. It's still going down. I mean, if 9 even breaks, it's gonna halt if 9 even breaks. I almost don't like that trade altogether, punching short into a halt. But Vaxart is showing all kinds of weakness here, and I might have to jump into this party. It's SSR, so the 9 break you probably can't get for a lot of reasons, but I'm gonna try.
Yeah, it looks like, Daryl, that long was the best on CCL. Should have been long in 1952 instead of short. I'm not really sure why I liked the short, but I did. So it looked like a decent level there. If you pulled it back, this 50 level right about here, I just thought, that crack might have got us into this little area there. And if the market continued to go down, then we would have a decent opportunity to cover that. But yeah, now you can see CCL going to the upside on a reopened trade here, obviously, with Carnival Cruise. So that one's going in our face right there. Palantir, we're going to play it off of a 32 break. We're still long. Big trading for us on Palantir today. Getting some of those breaks was great. To the upside, long again in here and out. So Palantir continues to be good. We'll see if it can hold that 32 and change. But the market's down today. I mean, it's been a big couple days for the NASDAQ after the unwind of GameStop and AMC. So now you're seeing a big move, maybe big move to the downside. Not huge yet, but I still think we can go red. So we got to look to get some shorts rather than longs here, guys.
Yeah, I mean, definitely got to have that opportunity to go short. That cost trade, I mean, obviously, there's going to be that 27 break. Look, I had this one written down. I even told you guys there was another iceberg coming at 27 even, and then lost my order, or I maybe didn't even put it in. That's a little ridiculous, but it's already come back. If it cannot hold this, and I'm watching, we're below 100 on GameStop, just so you know. If it cannot hold this 27, cost was one that I wanted to fade on any weakness in this game. It just happened that it pushed to the upside in GameStop. If we're below 100 and cost is breaking 27, that's going to have to be a fade play. I just got in and out of Sundial. You'll see that probably pop in very, very fast. It bounced off 120. I might rinse and repeat that trade as long as we can hold that 120 level. But I'm actually looking cost short as long as GameStop is showing some signs of weakness. It's a scalper's dream, though, however, if you are trading in this Sundial over and over again, you're going to see some very, very quick ins and outs. 120 snapped back to the upside. Let's see if it can hold it here and make a retest of 127. If 127 breaks, I'm definitely taking a long break through high of day.
Okay, so we are back into AMC right now. Just trying to play. We're going to be really fast here, 835, 834 there. Okay, it might break on us right now. We are long right now, AMC. Just going to give this one a little bit of room. We'll get out. If it breaks this 835, I don't really like it. I look at 825 to the short side. Just realize I got to pay for shorts. So hopefully we'll get those soon. But right now we are long AMC. It looks like it's going to break to the downside. And then there we go. Okay, held. So that's what we were waiting for, that 835 hold. It held it there. I don't know how much longer that holds for, but we are long right now, AMC, with an 835, looking to see if that holds. If it doesn't, we'll scram out of a decent percentage of that trade going through. There goes Palantir back to the high side. So 32.50 still holding. We'll watch 33 to the high side now. We haven't really dumped any of this. It's been a good trade. We did dump it when we got a little bit lower, but everything's been a profitable trade for us so far on Palantir. So right now long, 32.53 right now. So 10 cents in the money. Let's see what happens next time at 32. Get some out at the three quarters here, and then wait for 33 bucks, guys.
Yeah, and just noting here, Sava having some trouble getting back through the 68 level. I mean, the initial break was probably the best one. It's a lower high from yesterday's top, so if it's going to roll over, I'm just going to try and play the momentum off of this 68 even, which seems like a bit of a top. If I can get 67s, which I just did there, I think the risk reward will work for me through that 68. If it's breaking the highs, I'm looking for a long break at some point. It's just a matter of it being that 75 level, or possibly if I can get a bit of price lower, we'll take a shot at that. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
One that was strong yesterday, guys. Another one, another Chinese name, Pinduoduo, ripping again today. $10 move here, 184 to 194 for PDD, 7% so far.
Wow,
so I keep missing Sundial.
We didn't look at Alibaba yet.
Sorry, no, just 21s, 22s. Sundial been chasing this one to the upside, trying to get a little bit aggressive on this move back up. It looks like we're going to test that 127 offer, guys. It's just not a heck of a lot there, and this is the high of the day. There's a bigger level at 130. I think there's going to be a decent scalp play, at least into that 129, that 130 range. I just saw Savo blew through the top, but GameStop just blew back to the downside, so watch out for that KOSS, which should hit short, hopefully soon.
It looks like this is going to happen here on AMC. It looks like it's going to get out as well soon. So we'll wait for 265.50 to break or so on Alibaba. Thanks for the reminder there on Pinduoduo. But there it goes. Okay, so it just does break. I think this is a definite short opportunity right now on AMC. Guys, what's up, Bren?
Some of these LiDAR names going higher today, guys. Lots of volume in both Microvision and Luminar. Just checking on Luminar, but $9 right here for MVIS, already up 17.5%.
So I actually don't want to wait for costs. I want to work this one off of the high of the day. Just look, this reversal seems at least a little bit legitimate. Back to just broke 95 on GameStop. You're starting to see like this 28.50 area where I just got short, this 29.50 top. If it starts to bounce off of this 29.50 and roll over, then I'll try adding to my position. Hopefully, you're looking at like 29, so midway in this range. And then if it's breaking that 27, you get some out in front, maybe add to the position through a 27 break. Sundial just resisted the high, so you're not going to see me actually get that long that I was looking for. It just turned to this 25, which has another million or a couple million shares on it. If it does bounce back down, I'll try to pick it up again at 120. Just have to be more aggressive. Last time, should have just removed liquidity and got in aggressively at both 121 and 122. Try to be sneaky and get some midpoints.
Okay, so we're going to, okay, there goes. There goes AMC right back to the high side there, bouncing basically right where we got out. So I guess we needed to use 30 instead of 35. It's okay. We gave back some of the profits off the early trade. Off this long was huge, man. 806. You can see, like, this is what I'm talking about. You know, you go long 806 and you take like 90, 80 cents more than that on some of these trades. And then when you lose, you're losing 6, 7 cents. So well worth it. I like this break, unfortunately, of 825. So if that happens, we're going to giddy up on that. And then even this, 855 to the long side. Let's not play around and wait for that. So we'll take that if that does happen. SNDL up to 121. Good trade. Check in on Naked Brands. It's not doing anything, but we'll check in on it anyways. It's at $1 right now. I think there's some possibilities for that to break. But again, 105 is really what we're looking at until that happens, where it's a no-go. And then on Afria, we wound up getting out on this break for flat, our last 10%. You can see like all of these are basically 5% out. What looks like a mistake, we get out, it comes right back up to the high side. So Afria, a great trade for us, but there goes Palantir, guys. A nice trade here as well. 32.53, a bunch of longs, long in here. Now we'll see if we get out again near the 90s, but Palantir struggling, and AMD $1 in the money.
Yeah, good look on that Palantir. I just got another leg into that cost position, actually not the full thing. Like I said, if it got to like a 29, started rolling over, couldn't take 29.50, I'd add to it. I tried to get it one more time and I missed, but that's fine. We have what we have here. I'll take some off in front of that 27 that we mentioned earlier. If it does break that, I do want to be hopefully getting some more shares short. I still think this one could come down towards that 25 range. As long as we're maybe trending back to the downside on GameStop, which is right now holding 95, 96, 97 area. If that breaks, cost is going to go almost certainly here. Brendan, what's up, buddy?
If you like the little ones, another one from the cannabis sector just popping up here on volume, guys. Big volume here for OGI, Organogram, 15% already today. Held too nicely there right at the open. Straight higher for OGI.
We talked about OGI, we talked about Kron, we talked about a few different names there with Mr. Roberts' neighborhood. Neo right now, 56 and 10. We'll check out Kron. I mean, I'm still watching Afri, I'm still watching a few different names. I like CGC, good for us on BFT. BFT ripping as well right now. Look at Neo going to the high side right now. Good little bottom there. Like some of these bottoms that happen off the open have just been fantastic. We have the dollar win on AMC or on AMD. We had some Palantir low ball pickups right now. And then Neo would have been a fantastic one as well. Looks like it's trying to break through 56.25 or so. That's the high up here, 56.29.30. So let's see if that happens. We'll take a look at that. It's already come up a lot. So I'm not completely in love with it, but it should be a decent trade to break that 56.20, guys.
Yeah, and I don't know, we'll go with a backflip because every once in a while it gets really active, and because I've been scalping and trying to get that sundial, which again, I missed at 21. The cost, I said we get some out in front of VWAP at 27. Just got the first hit here. It's going to be just shy of $1. We'll look for like $1.50 on the next little bit. And then if it breaks, I want to take 2/3 out because I want to be adding on a 27 break. Which will not improve my price. That's sort of averaging up instead of averaging down. At that point, I think maybe then we'll get to that 25 mark. So cost, so far, so good. It wasn't so much so on Cassava Sciences. Of course, there was the huge miss. And again, this is going to happen. We talked about the stop orders. I got triggered out here, basically flat on my long position because of a wick down. So on the way back up, it actually triggered me out. Which is kind of crazy. It happens here from time to time. But you saw the big move to the upside. I did try to short this move and then got wicked out. I didn't make the high of the day. It actually continued through to 69.26, as you can see, but it looks like that short would have worked out rather nicely had I given it a little bit more room. But that's counter trend, and I didn't want to do that, guys.
And so Neo ripped up for us nicely, but we did not get anything out. So we're long at 22. We'll see if it can keep going higher. 28, 29, 30s or 31, 34. A good trade here on Neo, a nice little run through 56.20. We did talk about that, so I'm happy to take it. And here we go. Out a couple there. We're out about 30% of that trade on the high side. Let's see if Neo can keep working itself upside there. Maybe to 57 would be a decent target here for Neo for me, but we'll wait on that one. Brendan, you got something else?
Yeah, I did just see XPEV back to the upside as well. This one, guys, X, U.S. Steel down this morning, 6.5% still, but just had an alert back through 1650 there to the upside. They announced a huge offering aftermarket yesterday, so gap down this morning, but trying to get back higher for X.
Oh, I like that look. Actually just took what might be a bit of a bounce, or hopefully a bounce on VWAP version Galactic. The first one came and went without me, but I'm going to be looking at US Steel. I mean, 1650 to 1660, as Brendan mentioned, would be a nice little top break, especially when you have a well-received offering. Already a name that I love, but let's look at this from a momentum standpoint through 1660. There's 95 on the top side of GameStop, so it's headed back up. Got to watch that cost position. I'm not going to give it all the way to the high of the day. Now that I've hit that target in front of 27 for some of my shares, I've got to tighten up the stop. That's part of the plan. But US Steel on my radar for sure. If we can break out this pre-market high 1660, I like that a little bit better than maybe the 50 range.
Okay, so we hit the siren alert there because it's a new position alert right now. DraftKings is in the building. So we're going to go long 59.25. We take that position. I'm not trying to get fancy with this, man. If it breaks 59, which it may do, we're going to get out. I've talked about DraftKings not trading well intraday. So yeah, we're going to wait on DraftKings right now to see what it does. There it goes. So we're flashed out of that one fast. Okay. Now we have this trade going as well. This is a nice little trade here. Hopefully we can get out of this. This is AMC. We take that break through 25. So a nice little trade here, hopefully down to 13, 14. We'll see how far this one wants to go. This is AMC, guys.
And there we go. Every now and then, like I say, you hit a keystroke error, got into US Steel, didn't mean to do so, just quickly got out of it and put my stop order correctly. I talked about the Virgin Galactic just a couple of seconds ago, bouncing off VWAP. It's looking like it's heading to that 52.50 with some trouble, I suppose. So I did take some out here for the quick little scalp. That was a slow message there. 50 cents for half of it. We'll take the rest out in front of like a 53. If it breaks the high of the day, I'm going to like that for another trade anyway. So let's get that bounce. I missed the first one on Virgin Galactic. Thankfully, we can slay that dragon and get the second one. I talked about that Vaxar possibly breaking that 9 even. It did so without a halt, believe it or not. I just got this now, like breaking through 9, and a bit of like I said, a late fill. So I got 890s at the short end of this trade. I'm going to have to give this back to at least like 950, 960. But watch out. There is 0% chance I let it through 10, even less chance you want to be caught in a halt. It's just been so incredibly weak. At some point, I had to have a short.
Okay, so big time win here for us on AMC. Let's just wait to see how far down this one wants to go because this is the active trade for me right now. We put on a decent size there. We got shorts. We're just cashing it out. We're waiting for this 8 to see what can come through from this. 803 and change down here. A nice little clumped up area where we got long initially. I'd love for this thing to fall, but it doesn't look like it wants to. So I think we just got to keep putting some bids out here and just getting touched on the bid if we can, as it looks like right now it's absorbing this move pretty decently. So I'm not happy with that. I'd love for it to crash down a little bit more. Our Neo trade, though, that's been a happy dance for me as it went all the way. How high did we go there? We got some 47s out there. Good trade there. As long as the market keeps on ripping up, we'll be good with our Neo position, and our AMC still working for us as well. DraftKings, wow, did we get the worst price there or what? We got out at 58.90, and it's bounced all the way back to putting us into a winning position there. Screw you, DraftKings. Nice. What's up, Brandon?
I just saw the CBAT, clean energy name, CBAK Energy, just popping up here on volume. Back to 8. Had a problem there at 8 initially this morning, but still up 6.5% CBAT.
And going to go with, I don't know, we'll do this action. I missed the first one. Actually, I'll tweak that out because I talked about the dip buy and didn't get it on Virgin Galactic. The next one we did pick up here, right into that high of day. So shy of the high of the day, that 53 area. Got half out for the 50-cent winner, and then we'll take the rest out for about a clean $1 off of 52. Just to go over the other trade that we had to the short side, I talked about that cost short. Now, this is sort of the problem if you do a bit of a breakdown trade like this. You just saw me cancel my order to get more shares short. It broke 27. I wasn't able to actually add to my position, unfortunately, so I'm still just short that last entry at 28.90. It's now almost $3 in the money. I did have 25 as a target, so if we get anywhere close to this 25.50 area, I'll just go ahead and take that profit off. You can't hope for a bigger winner just because, or gross winner just because you didn't get the full share size position. It was difficult to actually catch that break at 27. Part of the reason why I adjusted to just shorting it above and fading into the level. I wanted to make sure I had that trade. That's why we got it early.
Okay, Amanda, we have a big trade right now as well. We'll floss it off right there, and we'll hit this going. Oh, no, that's the Trump one. No, get out of here, Trump. You're gone. There's the flossing off. A big trade alert right now. We're going to tweet all these out, man, for you. We're really, really happy with what's transpiring right now. Neo, big long. AMD, big long. Oh, and by the way, bang with a big winner at Catapult here on AMC breaking. What a great trade that was on that short, 822. Thank you, Mr. Gregory, for the shorts on that one because we are just heading down to the downside right now on this trade. I wouldn't be able to do this if I didn't have those shorts, so thank you so much for that one. And then Palantir, one of our biggest trades today, but right now we have 5% left and it's coming back to the downside. I thought I was getting out if this broke 32, but we'll have to revisit that one. But right now I'm loving life and we're watching AMC. Unfortunately, guys, look, I'm long calls this thing as well, $2 calls, so it's okay, but I don't like this cracking, but it's cracking, and we have the short, so let's see how far this one wants to go. We talked about yesterday, 7.25 was some downside spots, so I don't know, man. Do we retest there? 750, 760 possibly. Holding 8 right now, though.
Yeah, and just got that target on cost, so we'll do that. We don't want to look at gift horse enough, like I say, but we ended up getting bottom wick of this move, 25.82, sort of a random price there. It'll be, like I said, just that $3 winner. It didn't quite get all the way to 25 even, and I wasn't able to add through 27, which would have been fantastic. Naked Brands, just to come back to it here, guys. I actually accidentally, I had a bid at 95, but I got out one too many times here in front of like 98, 99. So reversed to the long side and just punched it out. I didn't want to be long that stock. It is consolidating below this 95 range, but the shorts I had were all $1, 102. I didn't want to chase it too far. It seems like maybe I should have. 95 is certainly holding for the time being. I'll wait for it to pop back up, give me like 98s or 99s. If I can get it in front of that, I'll be very, very happy. You do not see me long sundial. The only reason for that is it is very, very choppy. It's grinding towards that top break now. I'm trying to wait for that break. I like the long closer to that 120, 121 if you're going to scalp it. Otherwise, I'm looking to hit that 127, and I might even get in and out at 127 to 129, and then look for 130 to break, which had another monster order there. But you can't get away from how much liquidity is on these offers. So even taking a couple of cents is not the worst trade in the world here. Even this 105 looks interesting. I just got that US Steel position this time because it actually broke 1660.
Wow, Neo, guys, look at this trade. Let's put this out on Twitter. You can follow me on Twitter as well, at TraderTV Sean. We'll talk all about that, but this was a great, great break. We were very, very patient, waited for some pre-market levels to come through, and then absolutely hammered this, 56.20. We gave that to you as we were taking that trade, so really, really super happy about that one. We will put that up. We're just taking some more out there on the high side. Okay, on the other low side right now, though, we did take some out. Making me a little bit nervous was that 90 level there, so it did hold. So we did take some out on AMC at 90. There it comes crashing back down, so a good little hold there. New trade alert right now, Alibaba. Let's see if we can get some out. We just took this one to the high side, and yeah, boom, it's working out for us so far, but we have to get out. So let's see if we get some prints on the high side here on Alibaba. Keep going, man, 88, 85, 87. Big win for us on Alibaba. Great trade through 265.50, and it's ripping to the high side. Now goes Alibaba, but let's get out of this one. And right now we got to throw it back over to Brendan.
Hey guys, yeah, already 10 o'clock. Let's have a look at North American markets here. You can see pretty choppy start so far for the overall session. The Dow just going red, in fact, negative 0.04% here. The S&P still positive 0.3%. Tech stocks leading once again. You can see the composite, the 100. As far as the NASDAQ is concerned, about 0.5% each to the upside. The Russell, small caps, also in positive territory. Here in Toronto, TSX just going negative as well, 0.04%. To the downside. Couple of things to watch from the watch list. Google, I'll show you the big expensive ones. Yeah, we did test lower all the way down to 2,000, in fact, which was kind of where it held aftermarket yesterday, but working back towards day highs here for Google, Alphabet earnings, huge aftermarket yesterday. Amazon, the other one, not so strong, 34.40 down to about 33.30. It's trying to bounce right now for Amazon, but Amazon week. Google, very strong, guys.
We'll go yeehaw. Why not? We just came out of Brendan there into a winner. And we'll thank Brendan for this one. The U.S. Steel making that move off the bottom after the offering. Get that 1660. We'll call it pre-market high break in there. Also happens to be the low in the aftermarket. It just made a bit of a top at 1675. I was sort of scalping it into that range. If it does make a deeper pullback, I like 1650, I should say, for a bit of a reload opportunity, if in case we'll continue to go higher. Eyes are on sundial for me. That 127 is now on the offer, finally. It looks like it's trying to take its shot through a high-end break. So look out for that sundial coming through pre-market highs, or at least attempting to as we speak.
Yeah, and good outs all over the place here on AMC. So we're super, super happy with the way that trade worked itself out. And look at Alibaba, guys. We talked about that one as well. And it's been a big trade for us here on Alibaba. We just took that right now. And we actually talked about that in the pre-market. You can see we do have some levels here, 266.50 now. Why didn't I hold? This is the story of my life again. But there's 265.50 breaking. Now we go to the high side. We got them all out like 80s, 90s, right ahead of 266. But now we're still holding some, but not enough. As we go to the high side right now on Alibaba, let's just take some of this out. Also, guys, Palantir, we went boom on Palantir again, up to the 20s now. Good little trade on Palantir. Sorry, we went long 12s through that level, breaking this high. Just took some out 45. Watch out at 50. A big trade for me today. Alibaba, $1 in the money. NEO, 70 cents in the money. AMD, 62 cents in the money. And then for some reason, we got out of our AMC, but that made a move right back to the high side. Look at this trade. Murdered this trade all the way to the downside. But what a big day for us. Some chicken dinner winners today, my loves.
Better believe it. And like we said, we take that sundial through that 127. It's having some trouble. I mean, immediately sort of ate that, well, trust me when I tell you, it did eat that 129 level. I got some out there when I saw how big it was. 129 as well. I'm just going to get out in front of it, and this is the reason why. It's now 3 million shares almost at that 130. It does feel like that's going to be a bit of resistance. So the name of the game here is taking a couple of pennies at a time. You could have also held that 125. I elected to just do multiple trades into these levels. Was long a few times. Now we're going to, like I said, take this out in front of that 129. It'll be all flat if it goes through this level. And then look at that 130. I just feel like there's almost it just has to be resistance, guys. There's just no way that's not going to be another level to punch on sundial. If it does punch through, 135 was also a level, 170 to the upside. I'm watching on sundial. You got to go to that higher time frame to point those ones out. There's 130, there's 135, there's 170 on the daily chart, guys. I don't think we necessarily get there, but I like to have a plan of action just in case. Brendo.
Not seeing news on Airbnb, but check out Airbnb, guys. Big pop. Also, this one, Save. Spirit Airlines with a huge pop on volume here from 28 up to 28.5 all at once, 6.5% for Save, guys.
So, guys, yeah, we'll look at Spirit Airlines in a second, but I like LUV in that space as well. Look at this trade. $2 now in the money now with Alibaba. How many dollars? 2, I think. In the money now. We're light on it, obviously. We dumped a majority of it right there. We're changing up our strategies a little bit. Big time win there for us on that one. And then right here, I mean, maybe we'll get a little more out. Palantir, we did absorb some of that 50s there. We got out a big trade again on this stock. And then NEO, man. $1 right now, just ticking out at 57.20. So back-to-back jacks for me, man. Afria's been monster today for me as well. Now it's back down, but that was a big, just reviewing some of my trades here and how crazy they're going. And then Alibaba still good. Probably get this out now on a 267 break, back to the downside, whatever that wick is there. We love Alibaba. Give it that 5% today. Big time trade on that one. And then AMD, we've already got out of the majority of this one. It's falling back a little bit. Watch out for this break, 88.75.
And wow, we talked about this just when the news broke. I mean, Brendan got this one a blink, I think, before the open. It just bounced off 48.80, which is exactly where the breakout started on this. The actual volume didn't come in until like that open. You can see it was mostly to the sell side. I'm going to look to see if it can hold the bottom. If it can hold the line at 48.50 on this stock, it's going to be a nice little bottom pick. I just reloaded into a US Steel. Got half out for the scalp, went into that 75 high. Going to reload there at that 50 area. And then still watching sundial at 130. This stock is churning through volume. It's been absolutely crazy to that upside, at least for now. It's run into resistance at that 130 mark. Bed Bath & Beyond, we talked about this one with Mark. This is showing some signs of weakness. We had thought that if this one got down to like a 23 area, that would be interesting. 25 current low, or sorry, I should say consolidation low in the aftermarket, staring us right in the face here. That could be the first defense for that name. But my next trade is very likely to be sundial. If it breaks through 130, it just pull back so I can sort of breathe a sigh of relief and not be hands on the keys for that breakout. And I'm loading into some naked brands below that $1 mark.
Okay, here goes Palantir again. Going to take some out at least, right? 63s, if we could get it. We're offering 63s. There it is, a nice little hit there for us. Not hit, a great trade for us on Palantir. A nice little move to the high side there. You guys all wanted that. You could follow us on Twitter as well. We talked about that, and I posted up the sticky note. It had Palantir all over it. And yeah, there it is. Check the chat if you want that. NEO, 90 cents in the money. Palantir, a big one. Alibaba, run, young fella, run as we catapult ourselves through the moon here with Alibaba. Damn it. Great trade. I don't know why I'm saying damn it, but up that 5%. Now 265. We take out that pre-market high, and now we let that guy run. Not letting it run enough as we just break through 268. I mean, the level I wrote down, this is why I keep sending you my Twitter right there, was where is it there? 266.50. We took it $1 earlier than that. But even if you have 266.50, it's $1.50 in the money. So good trade on that. If you guys have that one, congratulations. It's been a big one for us here today. I hope you're enjoying the show.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I really, really hope you guys are enjoying it. We're seeing a little bit of everything. You're seeing some stocks that are high flyers that are moving, and we're getting scalping trades done over in things like Sundial. I just wanted to come back to AMD. We'll go to Brandon in a quick little second. It's going to retest. Well, it's trying to retest the low of the day. There was a snap through 88 before it had a hard bounce. If it puts in a higher low, I'm staring at this level 2. I'm just looking to see if I can catch it on the way back up for a quick little scalp off that 88. Brendan?
I mentioned this one quickly, guys. Not seeing any headlines on it yet, but ABNB, 6%. It was above that through 190 there. Still heightened volume, relative volume very high on Airbnb today, guys.
You almost had me by saying ABNB. I'm like, what is he? Oh, Airbnb. Yes, that's right.
Yep.
No one ever refers to it as ABNB, but definitely worth a bit of a look. I'm glued to this AMD when I'm looking to see if it'll bounce, make any kind of a low here off that 88 and start to head back to the upside. I'd like to snap into position there. And I did successfully add to some of that naked grants below $1. I'm going to try to hang on to that towards 95. If 95 can break again, maybe that's a price that we're willing to sell, but not yet.
Okay, what did we just get out of there? I don't know. Everything's hitting me on purpose. Oh, AMD. Oh, I don't know if we should have got out of that one. I don't know why we did, but okay. We just got out. Oh, breaking through 25 there. So out on AMD. Good trade there off the open 88.05 out of the long side there. That was a good one for us. Oh, that's what it was. It was Palantir that made the move back to the downside, and we took some more out at 30. We're still long here at 12s, so it's all good. Or sorry, 16s. So it's all good on I don't know, 16. Yeah, 16. So it's all good. But look, that high break was great. We should have took more out when we broke through 50 and got that out. But some nice like tick, 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 tick. This is a downward trend right here on these high ticks. So watch out for Palantir. I'm not as loving this trade as much as I thought we would be, but I'm going to get some more out right now. We're right around VWAP. Let's take another piece out, even though it's only 15 cents, man. We're in scout mode right now. So we'll see about that one on Palantir. Looks like it may test this bottom again. So I'm going to get out. I'm not going to be averaging in any more to Palantir. I like the trade, but I think we've hit it right now.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. I say tricky because I was going to take this AMD manually if I see any kind of a bid or a bounce off 88. I wasn't looking to see size or anything of that nature. The offer not trail down, and then just punch in off the offer and then say remove liquidity. But I'm also seeing 130 on Sundial, which is the other trade that I really like, and both those are going to be manual trades. I'm not using a stop on Sundial because it'll cost you an extra cent, and if you're scalping, these 5-cent breaks. You can't really run the risk of losing 20% of your trade because you had to get a price that's worse. So I might have to slide over to Sundial. This AMD does not even look like it wants to make a bottom just yet. Brendan?
I just saw this one popping up, guys. CPS Technologies, which is CPSH is the ticker, picking up a contract here for some hybrid tech armored panels. Looks like for some U.S. Navy ships that they're going to be installed in. So CPSH coming up to 52-week highs up here, 1180, guys.
All right, I'm going to CPS8. Is that a marijuana stock, Brendan? No. Okay. Defense, right. Sorry about that. Okay, we'll look at that in a minute. I'm just looking at this Alibaba trade here. I'm going to give it, we've given it a lot of room already. It's already a $3 winner, so that's a good trade. Sorry, $2 was $3 at the high side there. But I'm going to give it back down to this 267. I know that's a lot, like we're giving it back to 60 cents, but we only have like 5% left of it, which sucks because we should have more, but that's what we have left. So 267.07 is going to be the out on this one, and we'll take a smooth $1.50 if that does hit. But it's been a big trade for me here on Alibaba, one of my number one stocks, and that hit super quick. Like this is a 1 minute. Like I got to not be so gun shy and trigger happy on that because if I just give that a little bit of room, then we're laughing all the way to the bank, guys.
Exactly, and I think it's we talk about this all the time. You're always going to have like a stop out area. Sometimes the trigger, sometimes the direction is good, but you have to stick to your rules. I always find one of those is usually get some orders out on the way down, which I was not doing on Naked Brands, which is kind of crazy. I worked into this one all the way into like 99, and then I said, hey, got to get out in front of 95 because that was a bit of a bottom before. And then there's me, break my rules, not having my resting orders so that I can monitor the position without actually having to stare at the level 2 the entire time. I want to be able to be a little bit more active in some other names here. KOSS. Yep, it broke that 25. Look, I said I'd get out in front of 25. I did. It is heading back northbound for now, but I'm just noticing GameStop through 87 now to the downside.
How much?
This is going to be another fade trade here, guys. And I think 27, which was where I tried to add to my short, is going to be an out if I get back into this one, maybe in the 26.50 range. So if this pops any further, I'm going to go back into the short here on KOSS. That's been my, for now, best stock of the day. I think Sundial probably has something to say about that if it breaks that 130.
Yeah, I was going to say that was GameStop. So
87, yeah.
Yeah. like, again, like this triggered there and I got out. So I don't know, like these dark pools are really hitting me on some of these triggers. We did not mean to get out of our Alibaba. I wish we still had it, but again, this downside trigger there did trigger me. So we have to be honest with what happened, and that's what happened. So there we go. A downside trigger gets me out of Alibaba. Look, still I'm still pretty happy right now. A big trade for me, and we'll take that, but could have been that much bigger because we did not mean to get out there at 50. Some of these D prints are really hurting me, so I'm gonna have to investigate. It's my fault. I know these are happening, but I'm gonna have to investigate a better method to avoid those D prints. What's up, Brendo?
A little one from the EV group. Remember that little canoe, which is Go EV from San Francisco, 8.5%, just blasted through 17 there on a huge volume spike. Volume still coming into this, guys. Not seeing headlines, but Go EV going, guys.
Go EV, go. I mean, these puns write themselves. I just put in the chat there, 4 million it was on the offer. Look, it's more than that. What am I talking about? It's more than a 4 million offer here on that sundial. 130, we talked about this first break. I did have that 125 break into that 129, and then making for the next trade at 130. If you're holding along from like 120, look, you're probably going to end up with more growth overall, but I'm trying to play it multiple times. It's just, if it doesn't pull back, it doesn't give you a re-entry point. I think that was sort of part of my problem here. I missed this little dip back into 125, which if you're scalping, that's what you're trying to do, which is take advantage of the same range over and over. And if it continues, you'll actually make more than the overall growth that the position has moved, right? So if you got 120s and you took multiple longs, instead of making 10 cents, you could overall make 20 or 30 on that trade. But 130 looks like it's about to go here. Ignore that dark pool wick. It didn't trade to 135 just now. That's just a block print that came in a little bit late here, guys. So I'm trying not to use stop orders because on this stock, I'm not going to lose out on the position just because of a crazy print.
Right. Yes. Good. So we have one losing stock. It's Carnival, and then we have a second one, and it's DraftKings. This is not a big loss. Carnival is 4 times bigger than this of a loss, but we did dump through 59 there. We noticed it got back to 59.70. We're watching this VWAP. This is what I mean about DraftKings. No matter how good the news is, it's very, very tough to trade in the middle of the day as far from what I can see. I've never really been able to do that. So please, guys, next time you see me talking about taking a DraftKings position, do something. I don't know what you're going to do, but hopefully you can write it in the chat and say don't do that. I see somebody talking about Facebook as well. Let's call out Facebook quickly. 267, 268 to the downside right now. I like Facebook off those earnings, but the market doesn't love it. There was a big move off with Google this morning as well. But right now, Facebook kind of just hovering around here. I'm only mentioning it now because we're talking about it here on the chat, guys.
Yeah, so I bungled that a little bit. If you heard like a slam of the key, I missed 130, which is crazy. I picked up 31s, but accidentally keystroked, and instead of getting out a quarter of the position, I actually took it all out there at 32 on this move at sundial. Look, it was a good clean break. It was just maybe like a hair fraction too slow. Now, the risk of when you're doing a manual trade like that is if you try to take it out at 130 when it goes, if it doesn't break the level and that level holds or a refresher comes in, you're just long at the very, very top, and it could snap back on you. That's why I was trying to hold on for that extra split second there. 137, the next level up on sundial, guys. And again, the only thing about that is it just happens to be this high from a couple of days ago there. So look out for that 137. That'll be the next leg out. If you're still holding that long position, which I probably should have been at 131, I'd be looking to cover on the way to a 137 top. And I'm not shorting the stock yet. It's just, at some point, I probably will. It'd be crazy to say that I'm not going to short it today, but I probably will. It just has not done that for me yet. I talked about US Steel here. I did have that break at 60, scalped out in front of that 1675 top, got the reload in front of 50. Why I have not taken any shares out on this current high is a bit baffling to me, so I'm going to go ahead and do that now. In the 60 to 62 range. I'm scalping 10 cents at a time here on US Steel. Brendan, what's up?
Heads up on Ford. Guys, just saw this headline here. Ford's January retail sales outpacing the overall industry by 4 percentage points, apparently. So heads up on Ford. Not much of a reaction yet, but starting to go back upside here for F.
Yeah, we know Ford's a good one. I'm going to take an 11.20 break there on Ford and see if that one can go. I like Ford. I've talked about that. We were long 675 or so on that one. We got out just before 10, maybe a mistake. But I like Ford to the high side. Some look here on the daily chart. Look, we struggled there at 12. There's no doubt about that. We broke that one day up to 12.14, 12.15. Since then, we did pull back. What a gift. I think this was at 10.50. Not that far away right now, but a good number, I guess, Brendan. there. So 11.20, we'll look to see if that's a good breaking spot here for Ford. That was that high there, but I kind of like it. It's just when it broke, it only went to 22. So let's look at Ford through 11.20 right now, coming a little bit down, but thanks for bringing that to our attention. Brendan, I do like Ford. I'm going to have a look at GM as well. Neil, quickly, QuantumScape. Like, hello, QuantumScape. This name going crazy right now. A lot of volume here. I don't know if there was news on this or if this was just a technical break, but QS. I love this name because it's solid state batteries for EVs. So, and I thought they had that deal with Volkswagen. But if you can notice here, a QuantumScape chart, yeah. Not nice. They've fallen off. They said they weren't going to get revenues until I believe it was 2025, which is now a year closer. Welcome to 2021. So maybe QuantumScape about to do something here. I'm not going to do anything with it. I just want to bring it to your attention. Maybe a 46.80 break, though, could be good.
And I'm glad you brought it up, Sean, because anytime you see a move like that, which has been slowing down, look, the downside pull has been slowing down in QuantumScape, let's be honest about it. So if it does turn back up, there's at some point a potential fantastic break that'll happen there. Just to monitor positions, guys, I feel like it's not going to be too crazy to say that I can maybe put this one in the back of my mind a little bit, Naked Brands. Every single time it goes up to 99 a dollar, I'm going to short it. And every time it goes down to 95, I'm going to start covering it. If it breaks through, maybe I'll start considering shorting at lower prices. And if we get above a buck, maybe I'll change my bias on that particular stock. Certainly, if some of these other meme stocks head to the upside, I don't want to be caught holding that boat, guys. It's just certainly an important one that we have to do. This is like, it's been absolutely crazy here, Sean, today. And there's been some names that I feel like have been missed out on. One of these, there was a Gapper RAVE, and probably the worst decision I made all morning was to cover this one in the pre-market at $1.50 right at 8:30. Which, what time is 8:30? Oh yeah, right when we come on the show. I was like, yeah, it's dying down, it's gonna stop going. This has continued, and it's just, sometimes gappers fall all the way. It does feel like this one is gonna go all the way, and if you're long this gapper, it feels like 125 where it closed yesterday is almost a foregone conclusion. I shorted at 170 and got out way too early.
Like, you want to talk about getting out way too early. Like, yeah, I mean, good call. Like, we'll be honest with our trades. Like, 56.20 there, getting out too early. 57.60 right now. What a big trade here for Neo, man. And again, like, I'm so trigger happy. It's ridiculous, but a nice little out there on Neo as it just keeps running to the high side. I talked about this with Trader Pratt yesterday. It's like, you can't just say like, what if I held this? You're in the moment and you're getting out. You just got to kind of like reassess it when you look at the high side and say, you know what, like that was $1.70. Even if you have 1,000 shares, like $1,700 if you hold it. But if that's not who you are and that's not your plan, then you don't do that. Yo, what's up, Omar? Thank you so much. It's been a while, guys, for the super chats. Thank you for that 50 there, Singapore dollar. Thanks for advising you guys on VXRT. Yeah, we talked about Vaxart early. As they
bounce
missed,
on it, man.
Yeah, that oral application, they're down to 12. Looks like it's bouncing around now. You know what, Omar, I got you guys. That's a good look there. I think I'm going to look at Vaxart. Thanks for reminding me. Right now, small cap recap, though, as I'm blasting in my ear. What's up, Brendo?
Hey guys, yeah, that time. Let's have a quick look at a few small caps we were dealing with this morning. AMC is in fact still in that group, still higher on the day, almost 6%, I should say. One of those. Held 8 there on that flush, down through 8 for the second time. So we're back through 820, but did give you a nice level in the pre-market here of 850. We got above that. This was a pre-market breakout to the high side through to 9. So retakes that level back downside. Nice flush back through 780 on AMC. Overall, they're very tame so far today. GME was a bigger mover to the downside by far. This one was kind of a part of that squeeze group over the past couple of days, but really has come back to earth in a hurry here. 860, a bit of a pivot, just watching that right now. Already gave you a scalp. 820 down to 740 there. Very, very thin on GBR. Be careful. SLS, the other one, this was great. 13 was a pivot in the pre-market all the way down to 10.5 here. Gave you a retest there. I was doing other things, but gave you a retest of 13. We talked about 13 on SLS. Neil.
Thank you very much, Brendan. That was a great stock, I think, that SLS. And you look for, I know we trade some of these meme stocks, and they've been going upside, and they've been populating that gappers category for a while. You got to look for some of the other names for some sometimes easier trades. U.S. Steel is going to pull back here, and I talked about a couple of seconds ago, not loving the script orders and the stop orders with a few more dark pool prints coming through. So which is what Manuelin got out of this trade. I did reload, of course, at 50s. I was able to get most of it out on the last pop, but it fails at a lower high. And once I see this fail at a lower high, I'm saying, why am I giving it all the way back into VWAP? This was a scalp trade to begin with, so it'll stay a scalp trade in terms of where my exit in the last quarter of the position is going to be. And if I can only lose 3 pennies on it, so be it. I'll take that all day, every day. Sundial, a little bit of frustration because I did try that 130, which would have been a nice little break into the high. I ended up getting 31s to 32s, which was kind of crappy. It is pulling back. Just watch out. Remember 127 pre-market top, good break. I had that break. We get back below that price and you start thinking about maybe this could be a short. 137 was that high from 2 days ago. It just failed shy of that one. Now if it gets back below this sort of pre-market breakout price, I got to start thinking about being to the short side of the trade. For those of you that are still following GameStop, I have it up the entire time here because I feel like sometimes if something big happens in GameStop, it's going to sort of lead some of these names. It just bounced off the pre-market low, 85 here a couple minutes ago, about 20 minutes or so ago, and then failed. 93 twice here. It's it's tightening up the range. Of course, you can see the move to 120 and then right back in. 85 is going to be a key level. It's a pure momentum play to take a break of 85 short. The way I would love to play this is I've been looking at naked brands. I'm actually still in this one at 98. And I'll be short this name as long as we're below that 100 mark in GameStop. If it breaks 85, I'm going to be adding to my naked brands position short. An 85 break is tricky because GameStop will be short sell restricted, which means you cannot hit that bid without an uptick. So for anyone that shorts that name, you got to be fading into it as a safer way to catch some liquidity. There goes Sundial. So I said I'd try to get some 27s when it breaks down. I did not, but here it goes. It could be a bit of a short off that 27 level now.
Yeah, I can't believe I haven't even looked at Sundial yet today. 11.22, 11.20, a good trade. Yeah, and thanks for that, Omar, about Vaxart. Yeah, wow. We brought this to you guys when it was like 14, 15, 16. Basically, right when we came on air, about 8:37 or so, was 8:30. But that's when this move started happening, and we were like, wait a second, what's going on here with VXRT? But makes that bottom at 8. Wow, if you're able to get $8, that was a good bottom there. But that's a good one. And yeah, AMC, we're looking for that to go. NEO still $1.05. I thought I put an out on there, but it goes to 57.50. We'll use this as our out, man. 56.90. Again, it's not going to look like the prettiest out, but that's what we're going to use. And then Alibaba, that was a mistake to get out, but a good one because we got out at the high. Look at the market falling down here. You got to notice that. I said today, remember the market was up 0.4, and I was like, you know what? I think this market's getting pretty weak right here, and it turns out that's exactly what the market was getting, weak. And right now we go to the negative side. So again, if I really believed it, I guess I should have put on some shorts. I was looking for some. That's why we're almost flat. I mean, most of these longs that I have on right now are nothing. Palantir, oh, by the way, Hydration Nation's back in the building. Forgot to fill it up, so I'm cheating here. I haven't drank anything yet, so that's what it looks like. But right now, yeah, looking to make some money here on some of these trades, long side, but I think it's time to switch short.
I cannot, well, okay, yes, I tend to agree. The market is rolling over, but I'm staring at a chart of Virgin Galactic here. As it approaches 55, I mean, good thing I got out at 53. It just feels like this is a bit of a theme today. I really thought that this would have a chance to pull back and then give you some better longs, but either way, I scalped the trade instead of going in terms of breakout mode in Virgin Galactic. If we go further here, watching this like 58 area, there was some chop, at least for a little bit, if you go into yesterday's morning session, pre-market before it fell off. So watch out for that 58. Breaking through 60, I don't know. I kind of feel like it's not likely to make a 60 break today, so I would look for a rollover trade in Virgin Galactic at some point, starting at 58, which I guess it can't get there if 55 doesn't break. I'll scalp that one, but the scalping didn't work the first time. Well, it did work the first time. It just went even further. I'll probably stick to that same plan. Like I scalped it the first time. 55 will be a scalp break for me as well, and I'll probably dig in at 58 if I look for a short.
And yeah, I was going to go back here and see what we can do, if we can hit some more home runs here with some of these cannabis plays, with Afria, especially to the high side right now. And looking at that one, we did have to put an order in to get out of our NEO. I didn't do that yet. Oh, man, it's dropping back down. So 56.90, a good little spot there. Check back in on GameStop. You guys love GameStop, so we'll have a quick check here. I know Neil just checked it. That 85, I mean, I don't know what we're doing with that, but that looks like a good level there to maybe play off of there. This 85 bottom, 80, what was that? Yeah, I guess even the best level, 85, 86 there. But now, I mean, I really feel like this is pretty calmed down. Like I know, obviously it got to 120 there in the pre-market on that news of some sort of a new CTO there that they announced. I don't know what kind of news that was exactly, but that looks like it might be a decent opportunity to short that up there. But now it comes right back in. So, I mean, 95, 96 could be a level. We didn't trade GameStop too well yesterday, so let's go back over to AMC quickly and have a quick look at that. And again, like this was a beautiful long in the pre-market. That tends to be the game. And then we traded a little bit in there. Quick loss on that break. Then we waited for 825 to break and hammered that one to the short side. And now, very similar to GameStop, not doing anything. So we'll wait for that. Oh, there it is. Our out on NEO just happened. So we do give up about 80 cents there on the high side and get out right where we did before. But NEO, another good trade for us. Another winner there for NIO, guys. Good trade there.
I'm going to hit this one because I don't usually do it very often. It's a trap! Little Admiral Akbar for you. If you guys have been watching long enough, you already know that I'm a nerd. If you guys that are just tuning in, yeah, by the way, I'm a nerd. This sundial, I was just saying, at 27, yeah, it pulls back off that high. Let's think about shorting it below that level. Bounce off VWAP, hold 125. I'm not quite there yet. It just felt like that was a bit of a trap. It's usually a short that I'd be looking for. But I look at my board and it's like all my money has been made to the long side here. So maybe I should be a little bit more patient with it. If it wants to trade below 25 and hold an offer down there, there's going to be some trades. Why not take the other approach and the one that's just been sitting in? And I said it was very likely to be a sleepy trade. Yeah, this is it again. And I keep saying I have to have bids out in Naked Brands as it pushes back up to like 98, 99, and I always get more short. And then you got to have some bids down here because this 95 has yet to break. And until it does, I'm probably going to stay very patient, only shorting the pops in this name. It was at one point giving you 102s. It was at one point giving me a chance to get 99s. Now all I'm getting is 98 on these pops. I just got the 55 break on Virgin Galactic, so I don't know, like I'll probably scalp this one to like 55.50 and at best hold to 56, and then you'll watch it go to 58. But I've had a plan for this one. I thought it'd be a scalp long and wait for a dip buy. I don't want to venture too far away from it. That 58 level certainly, if Virgin Galactic gets there, would cause me to get into a bit of a short. I think in front of it, depending on how it's moving as it approaches that level. But there's the break, Virgin Galactic continuing to head northbound. What a move it's already put in, like $5-6. Yeah, I guess I said take some profits yesterday. If it breaks 60, I guess I would have been wrong about that.
Yesterday, I mean, look, these stocks are going crazy. I mean, Virgin Galactic back to 60 is nuts. Okay, so there's NEO. The only stock we have right now is Palantir. What's up, Bren?
All right, guys, coming up about 45 minutes from now, another great guest coming through today. This is an exciting product. Wouter Wittwat going to stop by, a board advisor for Rootmaster Capital in the DeFi space, the decentralized finance space. So interesting story with Rootmaster Capital and DeFi space. So that's coming up about 11:15. It's 10:30 right now. That means there's an hour left in the session over in Europe. Valeria is joining us once again. Remotely working this week. What's up, V?
Hey, Brandon. European markets are almost in a positive territory. Earnings are in focus. Siemens trading in Italy is up 1.5% after significantly raised its full-year guidance. Back to you.
Yeah, earnings season in full effect, guys. We have more exciting names coming up after market tonight as well, guys.
And so, like I said, to be pie in my face because this could happen, and it looks like it might be. I scalped that long. Well, some of it, anyways. I do have 2/3 of it out as we approach 55.50 on Virgin Galactic here. So we get the 55 break. I scalp it into 55.50. It looks like it's heading northbound. Actually, I'll get the next leg out and just throw some orders out, probably in like the mid 80s or so on the way to like 56. So look, again, I don't necessarily know where this one is going. I didn't think it would be this big of a push to start with. Might as well try to hang on for a bit of a bigger move, but I said I'd scalp that first little bit towards 55.50. That's exactly what we did. So you don't cry over spilt milk. I'll be 2 for 2 on Virgin Galactic, even though, like I actually said in the chat, my read was actually wrong on the stock. Like I thought it would be maybe some scalp longs and look for a dip to be able to buy this one. I thought maybe there'd be a little bit of a sell-off in it today. That didn't happen. We're headed northbound. The first short I take will probably be in front of 58, if at all. That's probably a really, really big if. Sean mentioned that quantum space. It is pulling back a little bit, and just looking at that previous low, which it had retaken, that's like 45 and change, 45.35 to be exact. if it holds this level and we're right back at 45.35, I don't think there's a coincidence that this is where the consolidation is when you go back to the daily. If it holds this bid, and it has to, in my opinion, for me to want to make this kind of a trade, I'd love to maybe later on take like a 46.50 break. If this is crushed all the way down to the low and breaking this level, go back down to 43, that's not the way that I want to have it. I want it to show that strength, and I want to look for like a 46.50 break. There's $2, $3 type moves in this stock, so make sure you always get the price that you want if you're taking one of the positions, especially in QS. I mean, it seems like it's calming down, but trust me, we know the stock can move a heck of a lot.
Yeah, exactly. QuantumScape, they're moving. Look, 1590 was a great little out in there on Afri, and it looks like we're taking out the highs once again in the cannabis space. Wow, is all I can say. These stocks going nuts right now. Cannabis names, 1640, probably a good long again here on Afri. It's already up that 11%. Can it continue to go? Probably. So we'll take a little 1640 long. Again, it's so bouncy. I don't know if I want to do it, but it's right there. So, I mean, that's a good opportunity if you do like this space. I like Afria. Big win for us already today on that name. So that's been a good one. Palantir comes to the downside. AMC's not doing anything. There was a name shoot. Darn. There goes Afria, guys. It breaks that 40 level. We did not take it. Rips right away, 10 pennies. So yeah, like I said, even if you take 1,000 shares there, you're just 80, 90 bucks. You can put that in your pocket right there. But we Batman called that one, but I was talking about it instead of taking it, and there it goes. 57s, 58s. We just talked about this, breaking through 1640, and there it goes right there for you. So that's a smooth, forget about what percentages you're going to take on the win. That's a good win right there, needless to say. So, wow, a nice little 20 cents right there off the top. So we were looking at it, we had it, and we missed it. So there we go, Afria. Wow, good in from the bottom, though. So happy we had that at least and made some cash all the way to the upside. We dropped it good, like 1625. So that was a pretty good out there. But yeah, we just missed that instant 20 penny runner right there. There was a name I wanted to look at. I just can't remember what it is. Maybe no, it was Ford. That's what it was, Ford. Because Ford coming back down. I just saw some congratulations there. Was that for you, Neil, or what was that?
Was it? I actually didn't see it, but I mean, Space Virgin Galactic, I just hit them to the moon because I'm like, why am I not getting this? We've already gone like the move has gone $5. It's embarrassing to have a 52 long that I took out of 53, and it might end up embarrassing to have 55 long and I just got some more out in front of 56. I am now holding the last of this position. I've already told you guys 58. If it gets to that price, I will certainly be flat, probably in front of a 57.5, and if you can't figure out why, 55. 60 was top yesterday, 57.5, right in the middle there, guys. So I'll likely be out of it and looking for a potential rollover in Virgin Galactic at that price. Look, it's been a fantastic move, certainly. Let's see how far it can go. Look, I'm scalping it today, and maybe that was the wrong way to go about it. I can tell you this much. You just showed a couple of weed names there, or at least one, heading to the upside. It might have been a trap. Under normal circumstances, I might have actually rolled into a short in Sundial already, and now it's retesting that same 27, 28 area with all kinds of bid. Now, this previously on the way down, you had like a 2 to 3 to 1 on the offer to the bid side. You're seeing a lot of bid above that 27 mark. So if it makes another test at the high of the day and fails, like that 135, 137, then maybe I could short off of that level. But until then, it does look like it's still a very, very strong one. So dodged a bit of a bullet there. In this stock, if you're losing 2 or 3 cents, that can be pretty significant. These are big moves in terms of the amount of shares that are trading in these 4 or 5 cent ranges when it comes to Sundial. So just trade it accordingly.
Okay, so I actually remembered what I wanted to do here, and it was CCL. So, okay, so we are long now off that 80 break, 81s we got. It's not looking like the only real negative stock I have is CCL, and I go right back to it like a crazy man. But okay, we'll just wait to see, man. If this breaks through 70, I think we got to get out. So, damn it, it's not a great one here. We're long at 81 on CCL. We already tried the short and lost, so now we're going to try the long, and hopefully the same fate does not hit us again on this one. So we are going to go long CCL. I don't know, man. The futures are now coming back to the downside. I maybe should have been looking short on this, but we are having CCL to the long side right now, trying to give it a little bit of space now up to 81, 82. So we're long 81s right now, guys. Let's see if it can work for us. 84, 85 would be nice to start getting some out.
And we try to say this over and over again. Sometimes the best trade you have will be a trade that you didn't take, which technically isn't a trade, or one that you got out of and covered for a hit. And you're going to see I'm down on 2 stocks today. Sava, of course, one. that I probably could have read a little bit better. And then VXR, which I just wanted to take the bottom break to see if it could flush. Instantly when it didn't go, breakouts and breakdown trades tend to have relatively tight time stops or just tight stops in terms of growth. So this was going to be both of those cases. You're going to see that big bounce to the upside. It's recovered to $12 now. So you could lose $3 or 25%, or you can just get out and admit that that breakout trade or breakdown trade isn't working when it immediately tells you that in the first couple of minutes. Brendan, what's up?
Not to be confused with Zoom Video Communications. This is Zoom Info, ZI on the NASDAQ, just taking out day highs here above 54.25. This is also 52-week highs for ZI. There's a couple of positive analyst notes on this one today with some new products apparently coming this year, guys, for ZI.
Oh, man. Yeah, okay, thanks, Brendan there. Look, I'm fine. I just wish the CCL would start to go at some. Okay, here it goes. As soon as I say that, thanks, Brendan. Back up to 1985 now. We're actually out of half. With this market coming down here, it's right at VWAP, so that's 84.85. We took some out there, 84.85. We're long 81s. Remember, we're day trading here, right? So we don't hold any. See, there it comes. We don't hold anything overnight. So sometimes that gets to VWAP. I just talked about it, getting some out there, 84.85. Probably should have got them all out. We didn't. Look at the futures now, starting to come back down. We may lick our wounds a little bit on this trade. It was a good trade. We won on it. Not if it goes down now, but we did get some out there, 83, 84. Our best out is that 84. I don't know if we got any 85s. No, just 84s was our best out there. So now we're a little bit lighter. We'll try to average in and watch out for this 70 level. But if the futures, here we go, they need to get going back to the high side if we're going to do anything with this CCL position. It tried 85s there and stopped. That may be a sign. Let's get some more out if we can.
Yeah, just, for the first time, Brendan already talked about this Airbnb. It just made this hard dip into 183, which is the first time on the way back that it showed a little bit of a support level, if you want to call it that. It's now holding the first dip price on the way up, which is like a 184, 35, 36, something along those lines. What I like about this trade is it gives you a couple of outs here. One, you can use the previous dip level, 184.35, if you're taking a long on the bounce. Otherwise, if you're looking to hold that scalp trade, you think it's going to go all the way to 190, then you're probably using a 183, just giving it that extra dollar or so. I prefer the short-term trade at this time of day. This little level here, 186.50 VWAP to 187, where there was some consolidation, where there was a pullback bottom. That'd be the trade I'd be looking to make. So if we can catch something 184 to 184.5, and as I say it, blabbering about it, it's starting to tick up already. But if I can catch 184.5 or so in that range, long into 186.50 with the tighter stop would be my play. Brendan, it is time for Sector Watch. It's already 10:40. I can't believe it.
Hey guys, yeah, it is 10:40. Let's have a look at the S&P 500. I was just thinking we had oil inventory numbers out this morning, higher than expected once again. So 2 or 3 days in a row here for oil prices and the energy group in positive territory. So FANG, patchy here, Oxy, Devon, Marathon there as well, 3.2% up to about 5.5%. For some of the oil group today, really leading the way as far as strength is concerned in an otherwise pretty negative looking market here. You can see this just flipped up to the top tech shares now. Among the leaders to the downside, we're in negative territory, but only just 0.16% for the overall market. Consumer discretionary stocks, a little bit of strength coming from this group as well. Ford, GM, Tesla is negative on the day, 1.5%, but both Ford and GM to the upside so far. Under Armour here, 2 to 3%, depending on which shares you want to trade. Ralph Lauren right beside it there, Tapestry, about 2%. So some of the apparel makers showing a little bit of strength today. Tech stocks providing most of the weakness here, specifically the semiconductors, Micron through to Skyworks, anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5. AMAT here as well, 2.25% to the downside. Software makers, even the hardware equipment makers, also in negative territory. Just wanted to point out this one here. EA, Electronic Arts reported not good, 7% to the downside for EA. Google right above it. We all know about Google. Healthcare stocks and industrial stocks, as I mentioned, providing most of the weakness in the tech sector here. In this group, the healthcare group, you can look at the equipment makers and the pharmaceutical names, basically the entire group to the downside so far. But overall, as I mentioned, energy stocks trying to offset that. We are basically flat, 0.09% to the downside so far. Back over to Sean.
Okay, so I lied, and I didn't lie. I didn't have any orders out, so we'll get one out now. CCL does come right back, so a good little out there, 84, 85. We just took some 84s right there, and we'll wait for now for some 85s to go. I tried to get 75s there, was on the wrong gateway, never got hit. So, okay, that would have been a great trade back to the high side there for CCL. So we'll wait on this one. Okay, quickly, AMC noticed it breaking VWAP and was just slow on the keys. Didn't get it at 8:30. Would have loved that. We were waiting for this the whole time. I know we had some wicks, so I actually had my order at 8:35, which was right where the top of these wicks were. We missed it, so I had to manually punch in the 38, 39s there. So our average price is 39. So that's what we have right now, going high side now, 840, 841. I basically want to hold this until we break sort of these candles right here, 820 or so. We're going to average in a little bit back to VWAP if we're lucky enough to get that, and then we'll watch this take out 850. I think we need to be prudent here and get some out, like right now, like 845. Like this is 10 cents in the money. Sorry, 849 is 10 cents in the money. 850 would be that out. So I think that's good to take some out here. It was the high. We want to hold some because
GameStop is making a run to 100 here,
Right,
just as you're speaking. So I think that's a bit of a good sign. It's stalling a little bit in front of that 100 level. I just see like a 98.50 that's holding up the offer here a little bit. So like it'll pop up, and then a couple times it got slammed back down. It just broke it now. So watch for that 100 level. I think could be a bit of sympathy. Looking at Sundial here, it just got up to 130 with a bit of a turn. I'm going to short off the 130 level for the first time here today. I said if it failed at the high or shy of the high on a move up, I would take a shot at Sundial for the first time shorting it. It's been all along for me so far in this session. I'm not going to short GameStop in front of 100. I just feel like the train is going to run me over if I do that. This pop to the upside should give me a reload on Naked Brands, which I've been doing all morning long. It's back at that 98, 99 area.
Yeah, we're feeling pretty damn good with ourselves right now after CCL breaks through. And look, I mean, finally, Daryl, if you're still watching, what's up? Oh, by the way, 11,000. I know Valeria's back. She's not in the building, but we normally get to 4,000 likes. So let's see if we can get that by the end of the show. 10-5 watching. Turn that guy blue if you can, if you're watching it. Thank you very much. It's a very, we're the #1 live trading show on YouTube. There's Valeria. What's up, Valeria? I don't know if she's on the screen there for you guys or not, but she's on mine. So yeah, hit the like for that. We'll go over to Valeria and talk to her in a minute. But right now, CCL, best outs there, 89s. We'll see if it can go even higher. And then there goes AMC. We did take some off, just like we said, breaking through. Basically, right where we talked about getting out, we did, 855. Now we have 60% left of this position, but we like it right here. Let's see if it continues to go following its friend GameStop there. What's up, Brent?
I mentioned some of these LiDAR stocks early on this morning. No real significant news, but look at Microvision here. MVIS, 20%. Just took out that day high there on a huge volume spike. Coming up to significant levels here, 975 and then 10 for MVIS.
Oh, that did back it down to $5 there. Wow, good on that one.
So guys, a quick new position alert. Now, I said I would do this a little bit earlier. It never quite got to 27. That cost turned at 26.50 the first time, but that run just now in GameStop to about 100 does get me into position here. I got 26.54. This is actually on the way back because it stalled out at 75. GameStop turned around. You saw that at just about 99. So into this one again, the first shorts was off of that fail at the high of the day. This one more off of this VWAP area, and 27 even, which was I talked about this a bit of an iceberg order in the pre-market twice actually, one earlier on and then right before the open as well. So if 27 breaks, it's only about a 50 cents plus slippage. I also worked into more shares of Naked Brands, but I told you exactly what I'll be doing over there. So not that hard to see that plan of action. If you watch the chart, it's not moving a heck of a lot in Naked Brands, but there is some activity in that 98.99 to be able to short it, and then just give yourself like a reasonable stop area, like that one even, guys.
Okay, CCL, there we go. Did we get some out? I thought, okay. We should be getting some out there on Edge X, but we'll wait to see as it's trying to print through here. 88s, we'll take some, there it is, 88s, 90s, 89s, 90s. So we just took out three orders there. We had 88, 89, and 90. And again, guys, we have direct market access. So what that means is we can choose lots of these different gateways. We can pretty much sit anywhere we want to. I can even show you my layout, my keyboard layout here. Mine doesn't look anything like Neil's. But if you go here and you drop down to, let's just say, NASDAQ, you'll see all the different, Edge A, BOSX, NASDAQ, EdgeX, ARCA's in here, more NASDAQ orders, BATS, different orders, and some of them will pay you to trade with them, and some will cost you some money depending on of course, if you're passive or active flow there. So we will wait on that. But anyways, that's CCL to the upside and good outs on AMC. Like honestly, we still have that 40% out, 20, 40, 60%, have 40% left. Let's get out another piece here. Looks like if we're going to talk about GameStop and them trading back and forth together, GameStop stopped at 100 and now looks like it's trying to make moves to the downside. So makes sense to maybe drop some AMC, another 20% now, and then we'll hold 80% or our last 20% and see where it goes.
Yeah, I'm going to go with WTF. Look, it's not really. I mean, if you take the 2650, I told you I'm only going to give it to 27 on KOSS cost. It does break and then sort of slaps right back the offer at 27 even just now. But I'll be in and out. I'm not going to chase this one again. Thank you, Curated High. We appreciate all of the super chats we get. Got to go to Brendan here, but maybe we'll talk about that CRMD. A new one. I wasn't watching that one. It debuted yesterday.
Just having a look at Box L, guys. You might remember this one from way back last summer. If you remember, this thing went from penny stock status up to about $5. Box L, a Chinese online education company, just popping up on volume here. This is another one that can get going if it wants to, guys.
Yeah, I'm just typing out here on Twitter. I'm saying, damn you, Afria, damn you. Like, we just, it was, I mean, we could rewind it. I don't know, what time was this? 10:30 if you want to rewind. We were sitting here talking about taking this through 1640. I was a little hesitant because it was running into the 50 level. Okay, up to $17. And I just checked my account. And yeah, it's on fire right now. Needless to say, I'm a bag holder in some of these weed stocks. And now, I mean, I'm well in the money on Afria, but some of these other ones starting to move again. But wow, we missed this one. We were long at 15.90, guys. Good trade. One of my top stocks. We did level up on this and take a decent amount, but now we're through $17 as Afria just continuing to go. What a great trade that was.
Yeah, and just, I mean, I see why you're getting at this one. Was it curated high? There we go. Is the name? I mean, biopharma name is CRMD, of course. It was an IPO, so you're not going to have obvious levels to work off of. And this is, of course, the past is in the past. But just for future reference, if you ever see something like this, where you make a little wick high through this like 1250, like an even area like that, and then the next day you get what looks like it was possibly an iceberg resistance at that same 1250 right into the open, and then dips at 930 into 1250, and it's that same level. You get the failed break the day before. You don't have levels to work off of. You get the actual breakout here. It's gone $3. If it comes back and maybe gives you a look at that 1250. Have a look at it, but this is obviously a missed opportunity. I wasn't watching this yesterday. That's one of the reasons why it wouldn't have been on my radar today. But you lose those levels in the future, so watch for that 1250 area. It certainly looks like it was a good one. I'm looking at Sundial here, potentially breaking towards that high. Now, 134 is the current high of day. Just remember, 137 is the high from a couple of sessions ago that I'll be waiting for to see if we get a bit of a break. For the first time, Naked Brands is actually making a push through $1. So might be get a chance at that 102s, those 103s that we had a little bit earlier. On Naked Brands, here we go. This is like 102, 103. The highest short that I had was at 102 on the way up, which I got a flat when it pushed to 105. And on the way back down, I shorted 102s again. So I'll be looking at that level to get back in. I have 99s now. I'm going to wait until it gets to that 99 price instead of just averaging it at every single level to take a bigger position. But Sundial, slowing down, I'm running into some trouble. Maybe I should have shorted off that 134 high, but I'm trying to stick to only long in that stock until it really tests 137, not 134.
Oh man, I mean, big time trading again right there. What, I missed that? Okay, I guess I missed that there, 95s. But yeah, CCL, I just wish I would have believed in this a little bit more than I did. We dumped it here a little bit. For a small spot loss, but yeah, wow, a nice, beautiful move to the upside. We had that one at 1980. So if you're looking down and you're seeing our positions, yeah, these are the real positions that we have, and then the numbers that we've been putting up are pretty freaking huge right now, guys. And I mean, AMC, my #1 stock today. Like, look at, you want to talk about a pickup, guys? I mean, right there, like bid, bang, out. Look at this, bang, comes back down, in, out again. So yeah, we're just running the show right now. Sometimes it's easy like mac and cheesy. But Brendan at the big screen with my favorite segment, because let's find out what that cat is doing, Brendo.
As we've seen past couple of days, glued to 78 cents here for the Canadian dollar. We are actually down slightly on the day, but only 0.1%. But yeah, it's been a bit of a pivot so far the past couple of weeks for the CAD versus USD, this 78 cent mark. You can see the euro back to the downside as well, 0.25%, 1.2 versus the US dollar. I mean, there's lots of headlines as far as Europe is concerned. The most interesting one yesterday, Mario Draghi possibly going to take over the top job in Italy, guys. Former EU central bank head Mario Draghi. Yeah, the euro down, as I said, 0.25% here, back to 120. Japanese yen, Swiss franc are higher. Australia higher ever so slightly. New Zealand as well. You can see Turkish lira downside here. Cryptos all in positive territory. I wanted to point this out. 36,000 here on Bitcoin, starting to become a bit of a level here on the daily chart. It's a daily chart of Bitcoin back to almost 37,000, but heads up on 36,000. Looks like a bit of a support area now for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Ripple following suit. Guys, back to you.
Oh, wow. The answer to Tisha Perkins in our chat there, probably a yes. I mean, I got wicked out, and this is always going to happen to me. Whatever. If I put trailing stops in when I'm trying to hold last of a position, it's always going to result in something like this. I'm like, okay, let's hold it the rest to like a 58. When it was sitting up at like 56, I'm like, okay, no harm. I don't want level 2 up. I'm just going to throw a trail. If it breaks 55, let's get out. And then, of course, it breaks. I don't have any obvious levels, if you're asking, until we get to that 58 area. I mean, certainly 55 was a nice little bounce down there. You can see how choppy it's been on the way up, which makes it a little harder to read, but the VWAP bounce was fantastic. That's why we took it the first time. That's ways away from even being a possibility. So again, I'm just not going to chase this one. When overall, the read hasn't been that fantastic. Watch out. There goes 100. You still long on AMC there? Because 100 just broke on GameStop there. I just noticed it. Man, I should have set that one up. That breakout trade gave you $5 before you could blink an eye on GameStop there through 100.
Yeah, that kind of matched right there when you said I. But yeah.
Nice.
Ding, 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 ding. New one's coming, guys. Hot dog time, though, right now. As AMC, like, I just said it. Okay, I'm reloaded. And we just tweeted that out as well because 839 right there, 835. Just took it out, 865, 870. We're ripping to the high side right now on AMC. So yeah, whether or not the vaccine is going to help this stock or not, I don't know, but we are going to the high side right now. Short squeeze, yeah. GameStop, I read yesterday, GameStop only 51% short right now. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's apparently what that is. We'll find out an updated number here on AMC, but a nice little move upside there. We got out right there, 865. So we're very, very light now, 20%. Thinking about getting out just one more piece right now and then letting that last 10% go. Yeah,
and look, obviously the short interest seemingly has changed. I mean, you can't really know for sure exactly what those numbers are going to be, but if it's only 50% now, it's going to change the nature of the moves to the upside. I mean, those squeezes will be a little bit more shallow when they do push to the upside. There's still not a ton of like active liquidity, but the volume is certainly there when it hits those even dollar levels. I'm just going to go back over to Cassava Sciences. Now, a couple of mixed bags here. We talked about the breakout trade. Certainly, it was a good one if you had it. I did, and then, of course, that's actually a stop out, getting out flat at 63 when it went down. But I think it's had some trouble pushing through. It's making some lower highs all the way through here, guys. I'm going to take this one to the short side. I tried once in this rollover at 67 and didn't hang on to it. I'm going to try to take it here around the 64 if we can pick it up. And then I just feel like I have to give it back to like a 66 instead of a 65 if I get into it. So I might actually have to get in multiple times if I'm not chasing it too far here. Started at like 63 high to 64, be willing to add at like a 65 range. But either way, I'm not going to chase too far down. I'm not going to short this at 62 because I want to be using that 66 level. So I'll watch out. Should be into Cassava. Just got it now. I'm willing to add one time, probably closer to 65 here, so I get an average price 64.5, and then risk about $2 instead of like 253.
Man, we are just loving life right now. CCL, guys, to 20. Someone just asked me, Cincy Video Guru there. Call it up here. Where are you? The chat's going fast. There it is, Cincy Video Guru, CCL reverse in front of 2025. Yeah, if we can get there, sure, let's reverse it. But right now I'm light, very, very light, down to 5%. So we're light now. You can see out. I just wish I believed in myself a bit more there. We did have a bid at 75. It's still there. I'm just going to cancel that bid. It's irking me because I would have loved to grab that and take that to the high side as well. But right now we're almost out of that. And then AMC, Hell yeah. Just took some more out there at 60. It's bouncing around right now. And we'll wait to see if 875 can go out. We wrote down 875 earlier as a sort of a key level there. And we'll see. We've already tweeted that out as well. And if you want to follow on Instagram, you can follow myself or the show. This was fun. 152 likes on this one. As you can see, I said here too. Great day on the slopes here. I barely fit on this thing. Great day on the slopes there, but I was hoping that wasn't going to be like AMC to the downside. And then, of course, here, Packers. We do have some love from Kevin O'Leary. He'll be on the show again, hopefully pretty soon. And then, of course, Neil, this was sad. Both of us felt ways on this day when the Packers and the Bills lost. I think the Bills are a better situation, younger team there with an up-and-coming quarterback, although we have the MVP, but I think Josh Allen probably, I don't know, do you think he wins an MVP? I know it's hard.
Oh, he'll eventually win one. I mean, Mahomes is going to win a bunch.
That's the problem.
Rodgers, I don't know when he's going to retire, but I mean, he's always going to be up there.
He's 37 now.
He's not that old. Like,
Brady's 42, so I think he set the bar.
Like, can we not talk about whatever, man?
I know. I'm upset too.
I hate you, Tom Brady. You're so good. It's not even fair.
Rodgers is not leaving there. I see somebody here on the chat. Rodgers is leaving, Tyrone. He ain't leaving. Okay, settle that down. Although I don't like Matt LaFleur too much anymore, although he's like 20-3 as head coach. What's up, Brendan?
Heads up on Amazon, guys, if anyone's kind of watching Amazon. Not much of a reaction, I just checked, but Rivian built custom electric delivery vehicle to be on the road in up to 15 additional cities for Amazon this year, guys, apparently. So they're going pretty hard on the EV delivery trucks, guys. But yeah, Amazon just hanging out here where it was before, guys.
So a bit of a change of plan here. I'm just sort of noticing we're sort of sustaining this move a little bit. I mean, GameStop's been up and down above a buck. I'm actually gonna try to cover Naked Brands at a buck if I can. I have like 98.5 to the short side, and it's actually catching a bit of a bid. So no panic yet. 102 would have to go, but if I can trim it down at least by half, or if not maybe even all, if we're still holding up here at least a little bit on GameStop, I'll go ahead and do that. I didn't get the second entry, and I got Cassava Sciences up here. I did try to catch some. I said, let's be patient, let's wait for a better price because I want to give it to 66. It doesn't actually fill me up here, so I still just have that initial entry at 63.78, 63 high. If it goes from here, I'll definitely take some off in front of 61, 62, which would have been the plan regardless of how many shares I got. So I'll stick to that. If I do get more, then I'll try to hold some for the 60 low, which is not the low of the day, but it's the low of this morning. The opening low just above 60. It broke once since then. That was right here at about 10.25, but I'll be all flat if we see 60 again on Cassava Sciences. Just to go back over to Virgin Galactic. Like I said, I don't really know when this thing is going to stop, and certainly each of the two longs I've had, I should have held on to. If you look at it that way, I was intending to scalp both those trades. That's what I did. Now we're actually getting to that 58. So if I do see a big level there, it's still not going parabolic. Like there's healthy pullbacks. Every single one of these pops. It's like a slow channel to the upside here. I just took out all that Naked Brands at a buck, so we'll take a penny-and-a-half hit there just to play it safe. I just don't know what to do with Virgin Galactic because I wanted this to like moon into 58 and then maybe turn it around. It just shows no signs of stopping. If I see a level there, like an offer or a slowdown or maybe a big spike up and a failed breakthrough, then I consider a short. But this feels like a train I don't want to stand in front of despite the fact that I liked this price level before.
Yeah, correct on that. Yeah, let's not stand in front of anything right now, guys, including AMC. We already got out. We're pretty light on that one. We did take another piece of our CCL out. Look, it got to 20 again, and I know Cincinnati Video Guru mentioned 2025. Like, I'm happy getting it out right now, so we are basically flat on AMC and CCL, but we are holding it for that. I canceled my 1120 bid here on Ford because it went all the way down to 1105, and why I didn't take longs down here, I will never know, but I didn't. So let's move on. But anyways, Ford breaking through 1125, I like it. So let's take 1126 long here. If we're lucky enough to grab that on Ford, we will take an 1125 long there through that name. 1126, I guess. I like to see it break through that even level of quarters. So 25, I like trading 25s, 50s, and whatnot. So let's give that some love there on Ford. And I did want to show quickly again. I know Brendan just talked about money talks about Bitcoin breaking 37,000 there. Talked about that being a little bit of a ceiling. It just broke, guys. So watch out here. Bitcoin and Ether both going.
Yeah, big time moves there, which is obviously fantastic. Well, depending on your views, there wasn't a. Look, I just told you guys that let's look and see what happens at that 58. There was no offer size there. There was nothing absolutely obvious about it. It did just break through. Now, the reason I liked it was this little flush that it had yesterday right off the open at the same price range. It broke through, got to like the quarter mark, and then slammed back down. Now, usually, if I saw anyone actually willing to sell this thing around 58, I would jump back in. Or not, if I had been shaken out of the short, I would jump back into it below that 58 mark. But there's no offer. It's crazy. Like, I'm not actually seeing anyone step to the sell side of this thing. So I'm not going to touch it short. Quite frankly, that's the best way to think about it here. If it gets to like 60, maybe that changes. I just saw GameStop pull back a little bit. So if I got shaken out of Naked Brands, I do have to live with it in the short term. Sundial's really slowed down. This has been basically failing off this 135 a couple of times here, but it is still marching upside, guys. It looks like the top break is going to happen at some point, and I will have it when it takes the top.
I don't know what that was, but I hear Greg going, woohoo! Brad, what stock is that? All right, Neil, you have risk, so you can find out what they're trading. Okay, 11.30 there. A nice little trade through Ford, 11.25, 11.27. Let's wait to see what happens here. We have it, so a nice long through 11.26 here. We just took some out 28s, 29s, waiting for 30s now on Ford. But yeah, guys, backflip it again. We did it again here on Ford. So, woohoo! There we go. Yeah, give a little, I don't know, I would wear socks. But that's a good one. Okay, European update, I guess, with V. What's up, Ms. V? Nice black.
Guys, European shares are mixed at this hour. Italy is up 2.08%. Britain is down 0.2%. France is up 0.06%. And Germany is up 0.86%. Pre-net trading in Germany is up more than 7%. After announcing a share buyback plan back to the traders.
I didn't even know in that graphic that we're wearing socks, but thank you very much, Sean. Yep. Thank you very much, Ms. V. Still doing work. I mean, this is what it's all about. Like, coming in remote, this is how much she loves you guys there, guys. I want to come back to Vaxart if I can. I thought that maybe, just maybe, if we got a little bit of a, push off of VWAP here, you look at this 13, maybe we're looking for a break through the top. It's such a gap fill that I just like it for momentum play. Just watch out. There isn't a ton of liquidity on this stock, but when it gets to the even dollars, you do see some 1,000 size orders every now and then, guys. So let's take advantage of it while we can. I'm looking for this high here. It's actually 1280 or so towards the high. 13 if you like it. I'll probably use the actual top of 1280 to take a Vaxart long. I tried it short, got out by the skin of my teeth there. By not holding it too long, guys. But if it comes through 1280, we'll go long on Vaxart. If it's broken through VWAP and broken through 11 even to the downside, let's throw that trade out the window.
And we are just really, really loving trading these days. Look at this Ford. Beautiful break there. We get to, do we get 26? Yeah, we got 26 even in. I got to find out another key where maybe I can get some dark prints. I seem to never, ever get those. I tried the JP Morgan dark print. And if you guys are with Day Trade the World, tweet at me which key you guys use for some of these bigger name stocks, and we'll see if I can't switch it up to use a better dark key than I'm currently using, because I never seem to get these odd prints. And like, look on Ford, like there's so many going. Like if I punch 27, I just get 27. I'd like to get some of these halves. What's up, Brendan?
These guys are having fun today. That's what's up. Sony, guys, we talked about this one early on today on that initial push up to 109.5. Look, I mean, this move continues. Wow, 109 to 111.5 now for Sony. Now 12% if you missed it. They're changing their symbol from SNE to Sony, S-O-N-Y. Guys.
Like, the thing is, I loved Sony a hell of a long time ago. We did it back. It was actually something that we did, and we talked about it. Someone asked about Sony. This was before the name switch. Obviously, that's a big one here, that kind of a move. But like, look at this dip down there. Remember the PS5, guys? Like, there was a good opportunity to buy some of that, like, even back in October. Like look how low this thing got for some reason. $72 up to $112. It's not a super sexy stock, but a good move today for sure for SNE. Congratulations if anybody thought a name change would bust this thing up 12%. You're right. Congratulations to Sony holders.
Yeah, I mean, you guys, let's look at CCIV so I can take my mind off of just that Virgin Galactic chart, because it did turn off 58 exactly, and I didn't have it. Just push to the downside here. I mean, I don't know if I see any news, but it just halted down after flushing like $2. And this is right into pre-market low opening range bottom as well. So very, very significant move in here on CCIV. I mean, I don't necessarily see anything across the wire, but ear to the ground here. But this just absolutely flushed just 2 seconds ago before this volatility halt on this name, guys. Got to watch out very carefully here. And of course, I just assumed that it's a volatility halt without actually checking. There we go. Yes, it is a volatility halt CCIV, so it should be open up in about 2 or 3 minutes or so.
Yeah, okay. We are looking at CCIV and going through that level, so good one there, obviously on the halt. Okay, so Ford, that's the daily chart. I still like it. We did take some out 27s there, but it goes to 29.30s. We're pretty light now. We have 25% left, as I've been taking out like some half shares here and stuff like that, trying to find that dark pool. So you guys can tell me if that's going through or not. Bitcoin continues to go. Ether continues to go. All-time highs for Ether, 16.15 or so right now for that. ETH, if you guys are looking at that, your space still going nuts. VXR. Wait a second, what is this? That's Ford, okay. VXRT, I wanted to look at that. That's a NASDAQ stock. That's hovering around 12 and thinking about doing a little dance through there as well. Big moves back to 1280. I still like to see if we can get this thing around 11. That's Vaxart on a miss today on their oral testing there for coronavirus. So we'll wait to see on that one. I think it's a pill that you can take, I guess, to help with it. So I don't know much about it, obviously, as you can hear me, but failed, bad, 49% downside, yuck for Vaxart.
Yeah, just someone just saying, Neil, would you take a space short if it makes a double top? I mean, probably, but I'm also fading this move here as it bounces off of like 55 half. It's just like the first level, like 57, where it runs into a bit of resistance. I work into a little something. I actually got 99s as my price, so it is what it is. If it starts to break through and get through that 55.50, manually I'm going to be trading this one. I'm not going to let it go through that price because if it makes a double top, I think it's a better short and probably a bigger one because you have a more obvious level where you want to take it out. This one I'm sort of glued to the level 2 to see what happens on this offer, and I wouldn't take as much size because you're in no man's land here. But if it holds this lower high, around that 50 mark, I'd probably catch some on the way down, adding to my position that way. Otherwise, let it break, get out, look for that top end fail, which I would love to be lower, guys. I would love for it to hold 58.35 or so, which is the current high of the day, and not even test it. That would be a better idea for a short instead of it double topping altogether. Either way, it just try to take it out. Oh, there we go. It actually did not break 50. Of course it did not. It did not just break 57.50 there. So I get out, it didn't break 50, I just get right back in. You know how that works, guys. So didn't mean to get out there. I got it too hastily, I'll just jump back in. I'll actually get a better price, but ultimately it doesn't really matter, guys. It's the same price area, and we'll hold this one probably down to like a 56. If it does make a flush here, 55, maybe I'll have a little bit on board if that's the case. It's been too strong to try to shoot for only home runs here on Virgin Galactic, guys.
Yeah, I'm like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not trying to hit home runs either with Ford, but it's not moving. And I guess that's par for the course with a name like Ford here. Doesn't want to go. There's CCL as well. We talked about that. Trying that 20 again. We're pretty light, but I think we may just dump them all right now and get out because I retest that 1990. Look, we're long at 80, so it's fine. Or 81, I guess 81. But you know what? We tried it. We made some money back. We got absolutely demolished. I'm going to count this as really my only negative stock today. But, you know, if we're being honest, which we are, I did lose also on DraftKings, which is kind of crazy because I take that 59.25, trying to defend 59. As soon as it breaks, I get out like a scared child. 58.93 there. Should have given this a little bit more room, and at least we would have been able to have something back to 59.70 because I would have definitely got out 59.50s and then probably around here 75s and then probably held the rest and lost maybe on one of these kind of breaks downside. But just so I know next time, if I'm going to take this, I already know I don't trade DraftKings very well. So yeah, I'm going to have to give it a little bit more room or just not trade it at all. DraftKings up off a nice run. I mean, the fact that this is at 60 is incredible, and we'll go over to its brother in Penn right now, and that's been a big move. I mean, if you're talking about big moves, some of these just keep going here. Penn, big move, that's Barstool Sports. What up, Davey Day Trader? Get on our show. Actually, I tweeted at him once or twice. I'm going to do it again now, see if we can get Davey on here. Dave Portnoy talking all about his stonks and whatnot.
Not just that, because if he ever comes on, the guy has Barstool has a great charity that they're doing for small businesses.
Yes, exactly.
And it's like, it was weird because at first it was not getting enough coverage, at least in my opinion, which maybe it doesn't mean anything. And then the next you got like Tom Brady and Aaron Rodgers. Now people are talking about, I hit the timber, and I don't want to look the gift horse in the mouth because, whoa, there's 56. on Virgin. Whoops. See, this always happens. So I did have an exit that was, and I'm telling you, it's like not the first time this has happened to me where it's like my fill was like slow. I'm like, am I out of this? I should be out of it. In front of 56, I was. Accidentally just got long there, so get out of that flat. I had paper hands on the first short getting out at 50. When it didn't break, I just jumped right back into it, essentially at 36 here, guys, and then it came right down to 56. It's continuing to VWAP, but like I said, I didn't think it would go all the way. It just did, so I am now out of it. I missed the top at 58 despite thinking that that would be the level. I did catch it on that consolidation. It'll end up working, but it's a bit frustrating for me because 58 ended up being a good call. Just got to be able to execute a little bit better or have some conviction with it. Brendan, what's up?
All right, so we saw that move in the halt on Churchill, guys. CCIV to the downside, coming back higher as we speak right now. Yeah, I want to show you this, but I mean, it was just a comment from the company suggesting that no deal is imminent, although talks between the two sides are continuing. However, 27% as Redditors starting to talk about this one as well, guys. So a heads up on CCIV. They are still talking with Lucid, guys.
Like I don't understand. You know what? I know we did a show on SPACs, right? We talked about SPAC, or a show. We did a video on SPACs on our Market Wisdom page. And I still don't really understand them because, I mean, I understand how they work, but like CCIV, if it's not done with Lucid Motors, then what the hell was this move all the way up to 34, 35, 36, like just a couple days ago? You know, I would understand it if we were still around here. Like these kind of levels makes me think speculation, what's happening. But then like obviously the cat's out the bag and they're going to be in the EV space. So I don't really know what's happening there. I don't understand what this means exactly, but CCIV has been a great day trade there and it looks like they will take it over. I like BFT, which as far as I know, is going to be pay safe. BFT here, New York. Let me call this up quick. We do have our special guest today coming up. Brendan will talk about that. But BFT still 4.62%. A nice little move up. Those of you that have been following it with me, I know I've gotten a few friends interested in this name as well. You know, long in the 14, 15, 13. I'm embarrassingly long down here. Same way with Palantir. But now it takes out that 19 and fades back. What a great opportunity that was to reload. This is going to be PaySafe. And again, PaySafe is huge with like Skrill and NetTeller. They own those properties, big into sports gambling. So my portfolio right now is a little overweighted with DraftKings and some BFT in there as well. Oh, another SPAC I like. And again, we're just talking about longer term here as the market's slowing down a bit here. Look at the futures. Where's my, take a sleeping pill button here. But STIC is going to be BarkBox. Don't know why this one's coming back down, but hey, I was telling Brendan, like everybody, I think except for Neil, I think owns a dog, it seems like, and or some kind of a pet. So I like BarkBox, and I think it's a kind of a ridiculous thing. My dog has gotten gifts delivered to them from like a BarkBox. I don't even know if they're in Canada. Shout out to my wife for doing that, but I just think that whole gift box thing, we've seen Stitch Fix, we've seen a few other names go crazy with that as well. So why not BarkBox there, Neil? I know you don't have a dog, but maybe you guys should get a cat. I don't know.
Well, you know who probably would end up making that decision. It's not going to end up being me there, Sean, and it's neither my wife.
I'll talk to the 2-year-old after the show.
Erin will probably be making that call 100% at some point. She actually mentioned it once, and then like the next day she's like, I don't like cats. So anyways. You know what time it is. We've been touting it, of course, and we try to bring you guests in interesting companies and new sectors that you can learn about. And this is going to be no different. So let's go over to Brendan now at the desk for our guest of the day.
All right, guys, yeah, it might be a new topic as far as some of you are concerned, but very interesting one. I'm talking about decentralized finance, DeFi in short form. You might be more familiar with it in that term. Rootmaster Capital Incorporated getting into the DeFi space with the acquisition of DeFi Holdings. Wouter Wittbot joining us, board advisor for Rootmaster. Great to have you. It's an interesting concept. A lot of people may be confused as to exactly what the idea is and what the actual company is. Why don't we just start with a general overview of the actual product and what people can expect?
Yeah, thank you so much for having me today. So through the recent acquisition of DeFi Holdings by Rootmaster, of which I was a co-founder, Rootmaster is moving in the decentralized finance space. And I think to illustrate sort of first like what the company is doing, it's important to understand, what is decentralized finance so that everyone can understand it in simple language. And I think when I was thinking about this, how to explain this, for me, it's always easier to explain this with a short example. So if we move to the decentralized finance space, of which we are all very familiar, getting, for example, a mortgage from a bank, you're dealing with a central authority. You have to wire money to the bank every month. You have a contract that is written down, probably on paper, maybe DocuSign if they're sort of a newer bank. But you rely on trust and intermediaries to facilitate that transaction. Now, in a decentralized finance environment, very smart people have taken that technology that is based on blockchain, which we know from Bitcoin, and all these contracts live as basically as computer code in the cloud. So they are self-executing, where, take the mortgage example again, every month the lender would be automatically be paid back through the rules of the smart contract. And what Rootmaster is doing, we recognize that this is a growing trend in the space. We recognize this as a company, and we're giving people sort of exposure to this space through our products.
So now we're talking about public markets here. So DeFi in the actual public market space. So explain how DeFi Holdings is going to accomplish that for customers.
Yeah, so we have so we created this company to basically solve two very big problems. So you have decentralized finance, which is as a concept is democratizing the access to finance, but it is very complicated to get access to some of the returns that these platforms are generating, such as Aave, synthetics, and some of these other protocols. You almost need to be a computer programmer in order to get access, and that's not very democratic. So what Rootmaster is doing, we're taking away some of these complexities and giving public markets investors exposure to the space. So we do this by having we have two different kind of products that accomplish this. So the first one is really sort of a one-click solution to get access. So we do this through exchange-traded products that synthetically track the value of an underlying. So this could be like an Aave, which is a lending protocol, synthetics that I already mentioned, or Polkadot. And this makes it easier for people to log into the brokerage accounts that they're familiar with, and definitely people that are on this channel will be familiar with, and can buy the stock. And that's kind of the main value proposition there. The second thing is we have a product that is called DeFi Treasury. So as we all know, in Europe and in other countries, you are almost paying interest already if you hold deposits over certain accounts. And this is also becoming a real problem for corporation treasury management. So instead of like having that in the balance sheet, having negative interest, there are a lot of these DeFi protocols that actually pay decent yield between 3 to 15% for providing liquidity to some of these technologies. And that's a really interesting concept that we think is really working well with both private companies and public companies that have large amounts of cash on their balance sheet that they need to manage.
Wouter Wittwat is a board advisor for Rootmaster Capital and joins us today to talk about DeFi Holdings. If for anyone that might still be wondering where this is applicable in the market today, tell us who the company's primary clients are going to be.
Yeah, so our clients are kind of twofold. So we for our one-stop solution, we tailor ourselves to retail clients. So we have Valor, which is one of our acquisitions. They created the first zero commission Bitcoin exchange traded product. So that trades actually in Sweden, and retail customers can buy that today through their brokerage account. That way we sort of really make it accessible for a much broader audience than the typical investors that may take a lot of the returns from new and emerging technologies. On the treasury side, you would see more sort of public markets and private companies that have large assets or cash on their balance sheet, right? So think, for example, companies raising big rounds of venture financing that they need to manage. Often those funds arrive in a company's bank account on at the day of closing instead of over time. So that is definitely a nightmare for a CFO to sometimes manage, especially in today's environment where you have sometimes negative interest rates.
So for anyone that's maybe dipping into the crypto markets through a secondary brokerage or an online brokerage, something to that effect, they may be a part of this technology already and not even know it at this point. Let's talk about the marketplace here. You mentioned a few things already, but where is the primary target market for this product, and how do you see that kind of expanding over time?
Yeah, so I think there's multiple sort of markets that are interesting. So at the moment, you see a lot of like people, you see a lot of the lending protocols doing really well. So, for example, if you want to get loans against your crypto, against some of your assets that you have, a lot of people remain bullish. So they don't want to lend from, let's say, a centralized exchange such as Coinbase, but they would rather go to a protocol that is like, for example, Aave that I mentioned. So that is a really big and upcoming sort of protocol that we follow, that we think is an interesting product. And also, like you already mentioned, you have some centralized exchanges even in crypto. Take it, for example, Coinbase or Kraken. So these are companies that are basically managed. These are exchanges that are managed by large corporations. But you also have decentralized exchanges or DEXs where people can trade crypto with each other without there being really like an owner of that exchange. So it's a much different approach to how these different organizations are run, if you will.
Okay, so let's talk about Vallard Structured Products, a recent acquisition for the company. I want to talk about the actual listing as well, recently uplisting in Toronto here to the NEO Exchange. But tell us about Vallard Structured Products and what that brings to the company.
Yeah, and Vallard Structured Products, they invested about 3 years in getting like a base perspective created that in Sweden to list the first zero commission Bitcoin traded product, and it's now the most traded. On most days, it's the most traded exchange traded product. So it's really managed well, and the team is has very strong backgrounds with Johan Wattenstrom, which is the founder of XBT Provider, which was the first listed instrument in this space. And we think with their expertise and knowledge, we can really fast track some of the products that I talked about. As it is, you're still dealing in a regulated environment, right? So we're offering these products on exchanges to retail clients. So we want to make sure that is handled properly.
So DeFi, DEFI, now listed on the NEO Exchange here in Toronto and uplisting from the Venture Exchange. Talk about the idea behind the actual move to the NEO Exchange and what lies ahead for the stock.
Yeah, we chose NEO because viewers may or not know, in things in crypto move very quickly, and that's also true for the decentralized finance space. So we really wanted to find an exchange that can help us grow, that can move fast, that can go, and it's a more senior exchange to the Toronto Venture Stock Exchange, and we felt really good about the team and the way that they can support the growth of our business. We in the future we're looking to like I mentioned, launch a couple of these products, which will probably be very favorable in the market.
Wouter Witbot, board advisor for Rootmaster Capital. A pleasure to have you on the show today. It's an exciting space and one that will continue to grow over time. I hope you'll come back and give us an update.
Fantastic. Thanks for having me.
No problem. There we go. Rootmaster, guys. Rootmaster Capital. Check them out. DEFI, the symbol, traded here on the NEO Exchange in Toronto. Guys.
Thank you very much, Brendan. As always, a fantastic interview. We try to give you guys the best of the best, and it seems like we did once again. Some things happening while we were discussing that, of course. Remember CCIV halted down. It then pushed right off of the lows. Look at this, 27.80 all the way back up, and it held this 31 several times. When it finally broke, took a breakout trade, got 04s, great price. Thank you, Routing Keys, Day Trade the World. I've scalped some out in front of 31.50. I'm just going to hold on to the rest here. I mean, if we're going to push back, this all started when it flushed at 32. Of course, Brendan bringing us the update there. If it does turn around at 32, I'll probably get it out on the way back down. Otherwise, let's see if it can get back to a 33. I don't want this to break 30.50 to the downside, guys. Actually, Sean was just asking there, I use NASDAQ scan as my routing key, which has worked out pretty well for me, at least so far today, and getting some of these prints. But this particular one was an Edge A order, Edge A stop that I use. So I use that ROUX route there, Sean.
Yeah, it's similar to me. I mean, I use the BATS and BYX and ROUX. So, okay, good. Yeah, I was just asking Neil there because if he got a good dark pool print or something fill there, we're always looking to get better fills, right? And I think that's what it's ultimately all about is to make sure that you get the best pricing. And you know what? Fees are important. I've made 326 trades today. My fees are only $19. So thank you to Day Trade the World for that as well as we go. And we're at we're basically at our highest spot we've been at all day today. And it's been a good one. So we'll stay positive on the day. AMC not really doing too much. Ford bouncing around as well. As you can see on the board there, I am completely flat Hey, Ms. V in the bottom left, how's it going? But right now, what's up with Brendan?
We're getting to that time once again, guys. Valeria joining us on screen remotely this weekend, next week as well, but she is here. Wow, this earnings board is a little overwhelming, but here we go. Earnings aftermarket tonight and before the open tomorrow.
What? Valeria, calm down on the earnings board there. You went crazy. I can't even, I have to move my water now. I don't know. Okay, Grubhub should be interesting. We talked about Penn National.
Nokia.
Is there? Yeah, my eyes are just going everywhere. I'm sure there's lots that we're going to miss. Let us know in the chat if there's anything on there that you guys like. Bristol Myers. We already talked about PayPal as well. Is there? So I'm interested in Penn, actually. Penn National at the top.
Yeah, I mean, hey, look at that Canada Goose as well. So let's get that Canadian content because you know where we're located in Toronto, guys. I think you pretty much hit them all, but I think obviously you guys are going to be interested in a little bit. Well, most people are going to be interested in Nokia because of the moves that we've been seeing recently.
Yeah.
Looks like it'll be a good one. Ms. V, is there something else that we're supposed to do before we get out of here? I can't remember.
Absolutely, Neil. I'll remind you. Hey, guys, thank you very much for joining us today. I wish you a great rest of the trading day. And please don't leave without hitting thumbs up so we know you enjoyed the show. And happy National Carrot Cake, everyone.
Yes.
I'm down.
I'm definitely down with some carrot cake. I would love to have it for dessert after our lunch today, which, I don't know, I'm going to guess is going to be like salmon or something. Maybe that'll be the case.
Salmon plus carrot cake, that might be okay there. And Valeria, you have a Canada Goose jacket, am I correct?
Absolutely.
Go along.
I'm going to do a little channel check. Do people wear Canada Goose in Russia? Is it sold over there? What is the story with Canada Goose and Russia?
Well, basically, if you wear Canada Goose in Russia, you look really stylish. You know about fashion.
Oh, of course, my bad. Russians know everything about fashion there, but good. So they are popular there in Russia, so it's a good look there. I know in China they're popular. They're popular everywhere. I think they're made now in China to get that cost down a little bit. But thank you so much. Oh, Valeria, another question there because we didn't talk to you too much about your trip yet. What was the weather like? Because we're about to get real cold real fast. I think it's about 2 or 3 degrees today, but then it's going to -8 or 9, I believe, on the weekend, thanks to weatherman Brendan, who updated me on that yesterday, and it ruined my day. But what was it like in your hometown there when you visited last week?
So when I arrived, it was -28 degrees.
What?
Yes, -28. Feels like more than -30
That is absurd.
something.
That's
And I
very
arrived
absurd.
in my Nikes, so it was a bad idea.
Yeah, not a great idea. -28. Hello. Yeah, a little bit too cool for this guy.
Yeah, no chance do I like it when it's that cold. Obviously, I got that Caribbean blood. There's just no way I would survive very well. You need that Canada Goose jacket in that kind of weather. Shameless plug for this great Canadian company, which we have the chart up. Looking pretty good. Maybe it'll break back out, I should say, and then retest some highs tomorrow. Look, it's been a fantastic show. Lots of fun here. Just because it just picked up my radar. Whoa, sundial heading back down to that 125. I said it, let it break 125 before I looked at it for the short trade, so it looks like it might be jumping on that one in the other direction if we can break below VWAP here, and that just happened. So there you go. Also looking at naked brands to a buck. GME just turned off of 100 even. Nokia should be interesting for those earnings, but it's been a great, fantastic show. I want to thank everybody for all of their support. It's a great and fantastic community. I love when you guys are giving us names that we aren't even noticing from time to time. Make sure you always check out that watch list because we try to get through it as best as we can. There were a lot of dingers, zingers, bangers, bangers, whatever you want to call them on the list today. Good looks all around. For the entire team, Ms. V doing yeoman's work during her quarantine, of course. My man Sean Katina in matching shirts today, believe it or not. And
I didn't even notice that. Nice.
For Red and Wickens, I'm Neil Roberts. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. This is Trader TV Live. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, guys.